There it is.
Perfect, dude. So UPS now is just being lazy as fuck and just going, we're done with Amazon's heavy ass shit that they're delivering. So we're just going to go ahead and give it all to FedEx Ground for me to deliver. That's bullshit, dude. UPS is ridiculous.
I asked the UPS guy just the other day, delivered my new boots. And I asked him, I said, hey, what's this about y'all dropping Amazon? He said, I have no earthly idea what you're talking about. I was like, got a buddy that works for FedEx. They're picking up like a ton of Amazon stuff. Like they're fixing to start because Amazon dropped UPS. He's like, I don't know if that's going on around here. I'm like, my buddy works in Ooltewah. Like,
it's on the news.
It's right there. He's like, yeah, I don't know. He's like, I'm still delivering Amazon stuff.
Yeah. They aren't dropping them fully. They're just giving us all Amazon's heavy shit, I guess.
Heavy shit. That's right. Heavy stuff.
Because it says UPS pullback, not like a full droppage. So we're just going to be getting fucking furniture out there. More furniture out there.
UPS is kind of in a tight spot because they, I assume, got in a little bit of hot water when they started paying their workers so much because, you know, wasn't it like UPS workers that went on strike?
They were about to because they were going to go on strike over. I remember this. This happened like last summer, didn't it?
Yeah, like it's been either a year, maybe two.
They were about to go on strike because I don't even remember. Like they wanted their helper, like their loaders and shit, to get paid more money or something.
Yeah,
and then they ended up, like the Teamsters Union ended up making a deal with them, going like, okay, we'll do this. You know, they still don't work on Sundays.
Yeah. And they got like $30 an hour.
And like full family coverage insurance, all that shit. I can't be in a union though, dude. That's fucking communist.
Yeah, I don't want to. I mean, hell, that's what we discussed last episode is like the whole IBEW thing. You were in the union
for like 2 years, but I hated that shit.
Yeah.
They're always like, you're going to work yourself out of a job, all that shit about like slow down, all that shit. And like, dude, there's times where like how Garrett was talking about, like, go hide.
Yeah.
I can't do shit like that, dude. I if I'm at work, I like just being able to do something to like make the time pass. Because if I'm just sitting there not doing shit, it kills me.
Oh yeah, it's almost infuriating.
Yeah, and you're probably having to deal with that shit at TVA too.
Yeah,
just literally just sitting there like,
just waiting for
just
something
boiling.
to become available, just something for me to do. And then when I have something to do, man, the day just glides right on by. Yeah, I'm dealing with that shit daily.
And then the express shit we've been getting too, because we're already getting blasted. Like we've probably taken like at least 80% of express's shit already, and it ain't even July 1st yet. Yeah, all the little envelopes for express, like all that shit. I'm getting like 20, 30, 40 a fucking day. On top of the shit we already got. Now they're going to take Amazon with it. Dude, that Indian dude that is the CEO of FedEx, he is just fucking, just working us like fucking slaves. And it seems like they're like any other delivery company, and even Amazon's starting to notice, is like, because FedEx Express was a totally different entity than Ground, and then you got UPS, they don't work on Sundays, and the post office can't fucking handle Amazon either. But I wonder, it seems literally the funniest joke about it is, it's like, just give it to Ground. Just give it to FedEx Ground. They'll fucking find a way to get it delivered. It'll get there. Because somehow it always does, but
it'll get there.
It's just going to be a dude pulling up in a beat up ass fucking FedEx truck just backing down your driveway. Just, here's your shit. Go. Check engine light flashing.
Yeah.
You remember that
thing's
diesel?
Ready for a freaking service.
You remember that? I got that oil change. I did, and he changed out like the filters and shit. So it should be good. It was the first oil change in like 25,000 miles on it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Remember that Eco truck I sent you? That 19 like fucking 90 diesel I sent you on Snapchat, where I was like, dude, this is the Eco truck right here, and I just hit the gas and you just see black smoke just. Anytime you accelerate, no matter how slow or how fast you're going. It's just blast black smoke all fucking day long. Top speed of that diesel, dude. It's a 4-cylinder fucking diesel, dude. Biggest 1150. It's a 4-cylinder. Dude, one tank of gas will last 7 days. And its top speed's about 40. I'm dead serious, dude. It's a 4-cylinder for that huge ass fucking truck.
Oh,
and
my
it's just,
word.
Just blast smoke out the side all day. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
The tank of gas lasts all day because it's a 4-cylinder.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're not running very hot, are you?
No. No. No DEF required either. This dude just bought a diesel truck that I work with because he's going to start doing. We were just talking about hot shotting too.
Yeah.
And John, he bought a fucking diesel truck and all that shit. He just put in his 2 weeks. He's going hot shotting. And he was like, he's pissed because he was like, he bought like a 2023 fucking big ass diesel truck, like brand new one for like what he's about to be doing. But he's like, he's going to buy DEF fluid. He's going to buy all that shit. He said he's got like actual outlets in his fucking truck that you could plug the shit into. And I'm like, damn.
Welcome to the diesel world, I guess.
Yeah.
It's somewhere that I've not yet put my feet. Grayson just did. You know, he got his 2500. He's doing all that stuff with it.
Just buy a natural gas engine, dude. Like all those
You know,
UPS
Honda
trucks.
is fixing to come out with a water-powered engine.
Yeah.
They're
I did not
fixing.
know that.
They're fixing to bring that to market. They're going to be the first company to make a hydro-powered engine public. That's nuts.
Dude, that
to
ain't
me.
real. That dude got assassinated.
I know.
Remember that dude?
I know, but apparently it's fallen into a company's hand, or they figured it out, and it's, I assume, owned.
I don't think this fully electric shit, I don't think that's ever going to happen in our lifetime.
It's not sustainable.
In our lifetime, unless they figure out, like, what is it, like fusion or something?
Well, no,
They're never going to. What Japan has it figured out right now, if you want fuel efficiency. All those Toyotas you know, and a lot of, like, even, like, the Chevy Equinoxes and shit, aren't they, like, half electric, half...
That's a hybrid.
Yeah, the hybrids are, like, what is, like, great on gas mileage, right?
Well, yeah, they're great on gas mileage, but that's not necessarily a new technology. Hybrids have been around since we were kids.
And, like, my mom's car, that Chevy Equinox, it, like, turns off at red lights.
Yeah.
And then just...
Yeah. My woman's car does that. Another time. You come to a red light and it'll just turn off. And then you tap the gas and turn back on. And she disabled it with a bread tie. Like those little bread clips that come on bread.
Yeah.
If you stick that down in the button, push the button down, and put that bread tie down in there, it'll stop that from happening. Because it's actually really fucking annoying to have your car turn off every time you stop at a red light.
Here's another question for you about, California, ain't California the shit about 2030? By 2030, they want everybody to have an electric vehicle.
It's unsustainable.
And didn't their electric grid like shut down because of that?
Exactly.
But here's my question
They
about all
told
that.
people to stop charging their cars because you're crashing the electrical grid.
Here's my question. How are you going to get tractor trailers to give you all your shit?
You don't.
They're just not even going to deliver there no more. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So they're not just going to. They're just not going to get their shit no more.
If it's not delivered on an electric truck, we don't want it. Well, motherfucker.
Dude, I've seen one of those electric trucks, and if they try to carry a full load, have you ever seen that video?
No.
They have like a full load, like a tractor trailer. They weigh like fucking 100,000+ fucking pounds if you got like a full load in the back. Dude, the thing makes it like 13 blocks and just turns off because it doesn't have the fucking energy to do it. I'm dead serious.
It can't haul the weight.
Yeah, it's too much. It needs it's way too much energy to haul that amount of shit. I mean,
It's just
if you wanted to
unsustainable.
haul shit like that, and then I seen a trash truck too. I heard about this on War Mode. You know those big old fucking trash trucks, like the Blue Republic
Yeah,
ones?
like garbage trucks.
Dude, that one made it like 20 blocks. Just shut off. Couldn't go nowhere.
Jeez.
It's like, dude, you want to do all this? We don't even have the technology to do it.
You
Because
want us to
batteries...
stop every 45 minutes for an hour and charge this thing.
Don't we need better battery technology then?
Oh yeah, you would need like ridiculous amounts of energy to make an electric vehicle worth something.
I heard another good one, but this one's like dangerous because I don't think they would want people to do it because you're going to have like nuclear reactors in every vehicle. But can you just make a nuclear powered car and it would just go on for God knows how long?
You could.
But then everybody would have a fucking.
But then, yeah, everybody's got a reaction going on in the trunk.
Imagine you like head-on collision somebody with your fucking nuclear reactor right there, and there's just a meltdown in the middle of the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Bad idea.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hell...
Well, nuclear power's the way from what I hear.
Nuclear's the way to go. I've seen people hand out suckers, and they're like, a nugget of uranium this big could power your city for 25 years.
Yeah. And we have one, though, don't we? Is that why our electrical grid's so good?
TVA's got several.
Sequoia, right?
Yes, yeah. The nuclear plants that we've got around here.
Ain't that why our electrical grid's, like, sick as fuck around here?
I mean, we don't necessarily have interruptions.
Like, ever. And then we got the fastest internet in the world.
Until it rains, and then my power decides to go...
Dude, that's because the linemen that put your shit in just fucking make it. Don't put it in the ground, I guess, far enough or something.
No, well, I don't know. We have a lot of shit goes on. We went out the road the other day. There was 4 trees. You know, imagine you're going down the road.
And it just lands on the lines and knocks them over.
Yeah, you got 2 power poles. Okay, the distance between 2 power poles. You're just driving down the road looking at power poles. In one section between 2 power poles, 4 trees had fell on the power lines.
It just knocked your power out.
Just in between 2 poles, 4 trees had fell. Right here on Mount Pisgah. Power was just out. I woke up and everything was just pitch black. Fan was off, and I just... oh, shit.
Dude, I loved watching those videos of substations just blowing up.
What I can't stand seeing... Yeah, I can't stand anything having to do with, like, big voltages, because I've seen people in, like, EOD suits. What?
What does the red up there mean?
Oh, it's something in the application.
Okay.
It's not important. But I've seen people in, like, EOD suits going out and, like, turning on breakers.
Oh, with, like, the stick?
And they'll just, with the stick, and they'll just blow up, and these people fall over. Nah.
Dude.
No, I don't like it. I don't like big boy electricity.
Yeah. Well, you can make a shitload of money doing it.
Oh, yeah.
My uncle does that shit. He's a lineman and just goes like all over the fucking country and shit doing it too.
Yeah, he's probably making a killing.
Yeah, he drives the biggest diesel truck I've ever fucking seen. Dude's never home though.
Yeah,
like,
he gone all the time.
He has like 2 kids and a wife, and he's gone like all year round basically.
Yeah.
But Jessica's like, I don't mind it.
Well,
my aunt, she was like, well, it is what it is.
You got a bed to sleep on, and your kids are fed.
And you just open your bank account, and you're like, damn, my husband's out there just raking it in.
Yeah.
Because he went on a job in California. It was just, well, his taxes were probably ridiculous, but
oh yeah,
they were paying like $185 an hour for like some shutdown in California. He said all he did was just stand there and just watch them just put poles down. All fucking, he was the foreman of the fucking job too.
Hell yeah,
yeah,
made a killing out there.
Was there for a while, and he's one of those ones that like has the big diesel truck and the camper, and he just drives to all the job sites and just lives in his camper. Like the whole time he's out there, so it's
if
like
you're going to travel for your career,
like on a campsite.
That would be the way you want to do it.
Yeah, just goes to the local campsite close as you can get to the job, and then well, hell, you can almost park that shit.
You could damn near park that shit at the job.
Yeah, and just live
if you live at the job.
Because all you need is like a water hose or something, right?
Yeah,
and you're good.
Yeah, I mean, hell, all you got to park out there by the baseball field.
And if you have a big ass diesel truck, yeah, if they have power there, you can just plug that shit in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to travel, that's probably the way to do it.
But that ain't a job for me, though.
I don't want to travel. I have traveled once. My very first time.
That was like a week or 2 ago.
Yeah, it was, 3 weeks, 4 weeks ago?
No, that was like 2 weeks ago.
No.
Maybe.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 weeks. Yeah, that was the first time I've ever traveled. I don't want to have to do that.
Yeah.
I don't have to do that because the whole time it's like, man, I want to go sleep in my bed. I want to see my woman. I want to see my youngin. I want to love on my dog.
And be at the damn house,
and
dude.
be at the fucking house. I don't want to have to do this.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that doesn't become
expected.
of me now that I went once.
Yeah.
But we'll see. You know, people at work listen to this podcast anyways, so they'll figure it out. Jesse don't want to travel more than, you know, maybe once or twice a year.
Dude, I wouldn't want to do that shit either. They're just going to get a job in, like, fucking New York. They're going to go, Jesse, we're sending you up there.
I hope not. I have been looking for, allegedly, new jobs.
Who ain't?
No kidding. But there just ain't anything out there.
That would, like, pay as much and have,
Well,
like,
I mean,
a good schedule.
I come across many of opportunities where the pay is much better than what I'm
But,
doing
like, the
now.
shit you're going to have to do is, like...
But, my God, well, not only that, they want you to have 25 years experience and 4 degrees, and it's like, what the hell? Man, this is like just around HVAC. Like being a controls engineer or anything like that, where you design your control systems or building automation. Because that's what I'm interested in. That's what I've been doing this many years. Why not try to find something along those lines?
And you started at, what, 18?
No, I started working here at 19.
So you have 6 years.
6 years and 3 months I've been here because it was January of 2019.
You could get a job anywhere. Dude, just apply at McKee. Oh, yeah, but you said your dad's the one that hires.
Yeah.
Tell him
Yeah, if
just
I was going to
hire
get into a controls department, he's probably going to be the one to...
Can he not just hire you and not say nothing?
Well, no, probably not, no. He's seen my resume come in when I applied to a position up there, and he's like, they won't let me hire you. You're my son. It's conflict of interest. Like, they don't want teams. They don't, I don't know. I guess it makes sense. I don't know. I don't really understand the reasoning behind it, but it's just...
That's just McKee, I guess.
People just want you to have these ridiculous pieces of paper, and it's like, doesn't field experience
What
make
about
up?
Miller? Have you ever tried to apply there?
Miller?
Yeah.
Yeah, back when I was trying to do that whole IBEW thing.
No, Miller Industries.
Oh, the towing?
Yeah, like where they build all the...
Oh, yeah, my mom used to do the accounts payable out there.
They pay a shitload of money.
I was going in. I put in an application out there.
Wouldn't Shaw pay a shitload too?
Yeah, Shaw probably would.
Have you ever applied there or no?
Because everything's always a 12-hour rotating shift.
Oof!
Yeah. So I've just kind of like avoided Shaw because that's not the...
I did not know that.
Yeah. Just about every position they have is a 12-hour rotating shift.
What else is huge around here?
I applied at Miller, and they told me, I sent my mom a text saying, I put in a job application up there to be the electrical guy on the truck to plug up everything, wire everything up in the truck. And the guy who was the supervisor for that department went to my mom because my mom was working there. And my mom said, hey, my son put in, hey, I've seen his resume, and I'm not going to hire him. He's already way more qualified than the position he applied for.
What the fuck?
Like,
And would they pay you a shitload of money to do it too?
at the time, it was like $20 an hour.
But you would work your way up and be making a
yeah,
shitload.
at the time, I was making like a $13 an hour where I'm at now.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, $20 an hour. But I had HVAC and electrical experience and construction experience, and I had all this stuff. And the guy was like, yeah, we're just needing somebody that like just knows how to read a tape measure. Like, we don't need...
Like do the same thing
We
over
don't
and
need a
over again.
technician. Like, we just need somebody that can come in here and plug stuff up. Like,
Jizzy, have you ever thought about towing cars?
No.
They pay a shitload of money.
I don't want to have to drive for a living.
Oh.
I don't want to have to drive to make my... no.
Yeah.
Because that means traveling, and that means being gone, and that means being on the roads, and... the more time that I can put in here And be at home, the better.
Hold on, I'm trying to think.
I don't want to have to go somewhere to make my money.
McKee's a big one. They pay a shitload. Shaw probably does, but you said the 12-hour rotating shifts.
And that's dependent on what position you get, because I do believe my brother-in-law is still working maintenance or something over there at Shaw. And I think he's got a fairly normal, like,
Dude, just apply for
7 to
maintenance.
3:30. Or,
See what they. I wonder what they pay for maintenance at FedEx, because there's like a whole maintenance team that we got over there.
Yeah.
That like does like today they were like repainting the whole building and shit. But I don't know how much they.
There's
pay.
a lot of stuff like that around here. You can go work for any of these big name companies around here,
and they'll pay you good and
No.
insurance and shit.
I mean, they'll pay you like $20 an hour. $20.37 has been a fairly common hourly rate that I've been seeing lately.
Yeah.
Like just about anybody. Like you can go and work anywhere for about $20 an hour. But I'm not the type of person to just go work a job somewhere for a company that I'm not really going to give a shit about and be constantly looking for something else and jump over there and do this. You know, I don't want to have to job hop. That's why I've been at the company I'm at for 6 years. But at the same time, I've been constantly searching. But the longer that I'm here, the more I make. I already know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Everything
and you got your
is-
shit set.
Everything's here. Everybody knows who I am. Everybody knows that I'm capable of doing what they ask me to do. So it's like I'm already in this groove, I guess.
Yeah.
I've got a reputation there of just being the quiet guy. And he does his job and then he goes home. Like that's just about what anybody has to say about me where I work. He comes in, he does his work, and he goes home. Like there's not a lot we know about him.
My cousin's baby daddy, Zach, he's been with Golden Eagle over there at FedEx for 10, 11 years. Makes the same, like, I think he makes probably $1,000 a week or something like that. He's like their manager down low. I was telling him, I was like, you could possibly get paid more coming to work for us. But he's like, no, I don't want to be learning all the new routes and like learning all the new shit. And I was like, I've just learned, well, since I guess I've just been young, I've just ripped the fucking Band-Aid off anytime I've ever had to fucking do something. It's like, if I'm doing it, I'm going to do it. Just fucking rip the Band-Aid off. Let's
just
figure
do
it
it.
out. Yeah.
I guess I've always just kind of been kind of reserved.
But if you like what you're doing right now, then
I enjoy what I do as far as like, you know, small electronics and low voltage wiring.
Yeah.
I've always enjoyed that.
We need to just do this for a living to make like a shitload of money.
Well, yeah, you know, ultimately
That's the goal.
the goal would be able to sit right here
Twice
and do
a week
this
and just
2 or
rip
3 times a week. Yes, of course.
and just make
That's
like
what who in this world wouldn't want this to be their career?
exactly.
Exactly. But here we are. You know, in this
seen another-
world, we still have to make a living.
For now. I seen another funny joke where it was like like how women make OnlyFans to like try to make a ton of extra money. They were like, the dude's equivalent to that is literally starting a podcast with one of your bros.
Yeah. It is. I would wholeheartedly agree with that. Because most people would be like, you know, starting a podcast is retarded. Well, guess what? It's kind of fun.
That video I sent you the other day of like, was that episode 1? I still had a fucking mullet.
Yeah. Yeah, our first couple of episodes, you had mullet. It was going strong.
I seen that video and I'm like, Jesse would fucking like this. But my meme that I sent with it didn't go in. It was Patrick with his head exploding. Like, look at how far we've come already.
Yeah, it's time for me a haircut.
And then me too, because my sides right here are getting long. The top's getting long. It's blowing in my face while I'm working.
Way too much hair going on right now.
Dude, just grow a mullet, dude.
No, I can't.
What would you do if your job told you to shave your beard, dude?
Shave my beard?
What if they said you have to be clean shaven, dude?
Well,
I'd quit. I'd say, fuck you, dude. I'd just keep working there until they fired me.
I'd have a hard time with it. Because I don't have much of a beard. But what I do have, I'm very proud to have.
See, I don't have much of a beard. Dude, this grows so patchy right here. Where it's like, it'll grow right here on my cheeks. It won't grow in between to like connect it. And then I'll have like 10 to 15 wild hairs that grow up here on my fucking cheekbones. And I'm like, what is this?
Yep. Mine's bad about curling once it gets so long. My woman and I call it the squirrel's nest right here under my chin. Once that sucker kind of gets long, it's just a big bunch of shit right there. So,
dude,
I just cut it short not too long ago.
I heard this Drake interview that was hilarious where he was like, I'm never shaving my beard again. I'm going to always try to stay jacked. And I'm going to always try to stay tan for the rest of my fucking life. And I was like, dude, that's solid. That's solid. 3 solids right there, dude.
Yeah.
And then Action Bronson said a fucking funny when I was watching one of his videos the other day. He said, dude, don't you want to be jacked in your casket, dude?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I do. Yeah. And then that shit still kills me. He's like, that Jack scientist on YouTube, it's this bald headed like Russian dude. He's like has a doctorate in like nutrition and all this shit. And he was like, hey, look, creatine, it'll make you look bigger because there'll be water in all your muscles. It'll make you like look real huge, but you're not going to be any stronger, but you look huge, and that's sick. And I was like, yes, dude, the Jack scientist.
I have been thoroughly enjoying my new 40-pound dumbbells.
Dude, you're going to get bigger.
Ooh,
hold on, dude.
What a workout it's been.
I have this meme that's hilarious. I hope I saved it, dude, because if I didn't, I'm going to be pissed. Dude, it's right here.
What we got? Horsecock, heavy ass weight. Don't overthink it. Based lifting. Horsecock. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah. I've enjoyed it. Those 25 pounders, they got to the point where it's just like, man, I've got to do 6 sets of everything that I'm doing. Because when I work out, I do full body, everything.
Yeah.
Top down, do everything. One workout, and then repeat. And then repeat. And then repeat. That's the way I work out. That's what makes me feel like I'm working. And I've enjoyed it. And I got to the point where I was doing like 60 of everything.
That's awesome.
And I went, I need some heavier weight. So I bumped up 15 pounds. Went straight to 40 pounds.
Is it harder?
Oh, my God.
You're sitting there like...
It let me know that first. Because the way that I wanted to incorporate it was do a warm-up session, like my first set with the 25-pounders. And then the next set, go until failure with the 40 pounds. Because I need to figure out what my next rep is going to be. And I made it to like 8. On everything with the 40 pounders and went, okay. So I've been working out with them. Now I'm at 15 reps, all my exercises with the 40 pounders. And I'm going to keep that for a while. Just build it up. Because by 15, dude, I'm trembling. I'm dropping the weights. Like I'm failing at 15.
Yeah.
Occasionally, once I'm like, because I'm still doing like 3 total sets. I've got, or 4. I'll do a 25 and then a 40 and a 25 and a 40. That's my workout. And by that last set, man, I'm shaking. I can't. And then over time, I think that I'm going to be able to get all 4 sets in the 40 pounders. And then once I hit 5 sets with the 40 pounders, I'm going to start looking 50 pounders, maybe 55.
Dude, I'll just bring you some 70s, dude.
No thanks.
I only do bench with that too.
Yeah.
Just the 270s. Just I could do like 12.
Yeah.
And I do. It's like real sporadic. It depends on how I'm feeling usually after work. But like, and my back's been hurting a little bit too recently. So I've only been doing like 5 sets. So like I'll just do 50, 10 at a time.
Yeah.
And then I got a 70-pound curl bar, which I'll just do 10. And because I always like that hypertrophy shit where like you get to 10 and you're like, you could stop right now. But like, and you know, it's like hurting at 10 already. You do those like last 2. Yeah. And I always hear that it's like, it's those last ones that are like, where you're like,
I worked out with Grayson not too long ago and he called them effective reps.
Yeah, like
something similar. Effective reps.
Like those like last 2 or 3 where
it's
you're
those
like,
ones where like you're already burning, your muscle fibers is already tearing.
You're ready to just drop
but
it.
You're just going to keep tearing them even more. Just keep it going. Just keep it going. Because those are the effective reps. That's what's tearing your muscle fiber that creates the healing that makes them bigger.
Do you have a scale?
Yeah, I've got a digital scale in there in the bathroom.
How much did you say you weigh?
Last time I weighed, I was 195.
There's no way that you only weigh like 10 pounds more than I do.
Am I that big? I'll go get the scale. Hang on. Pause this shit. I'm going to get the scale.
All right. Wait, pause that too.
Yeah. Pause.
Fucking thing. Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Here's the second one. I accidentally just ended it. Well, here's the second one. What time were we at?
No idea.
31 or something.
Where are you seeing that?
That's just what I got in my head. Here, don't pause it. Don't pause it.
I won't pause it. We'll figure it out. It'll be all right.
Yeah, we're good. Well, this is the second record. Dude, are we going to have to upload both recordings of these on the Spotify? How do you do that? Or can you combine them into one?
No, we'll have to do the editing and make it one. We'll have to put it in CapCut.
And make it one.
And make one audio file.
One MP3 file?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll have to put both of those in CapCut to make one file.
And you could export it as MP3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if we just upload just the audio, then yeah, it'd be fine.
Yeah, for like Spotify and shit. Yeah.
About. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But
yeah, what I was asking you, I was like,
dude, this thing. Oh, it's backwards.
Holy damn. So I was 180 like over a month ago, and I started taking creatine, and it's like, you're probably going to gain a little bit of weight. And then lo and behold,
weight,
I've not gained any.
Well, there's a good chance that you're just active enough. You may lose just about every bit of the water weight you're gaining during the day.
So means I need to drink more fucking water.
Well, if you're taking creatine, you need to be drinking a ton of water.
Because allegedly, it's supposed to put all the water, as much water as it can.
It says on the bottle that you get your creatine in. Be sure you drink plenty of water while you're taking
count
this.
Too?
Beer? No, beer dehydrates you. Beer takes calories to...
But there's water in beer, though.
Well, yeah, there's water in beer, but it
you also poison yourself.
It takes your body calories. It takes energy to digest that and process it. Essentially, all you add to your body is sugar when you drink beer.
Damn.
The alcohol processes into sugar. It takes energy to do that.
Is that why you can... so you're getting sugar from beer, right?
The alcohol processes into glucose.
Is that why it's easy to go to bed without drinking? But if you start drinking and you keep drinking, it's like super easy to like stay up because you're constantly getting a sugar rush.
I have the opposite effect.
I know it can like make you pass out, but
I have a hard time
eventually
going to bed without something to drink.
No, I'm saying, wouldn't it give you a sugar rush?
I've never experienced a sugar rush off of a beer.
Me either. Well, you get that hit of like, I guess dopamine whenever you get home and you get that first cold beer from the fridge after you get off work and you're like, that's literally just the feeling.
I think that's just the beer.
Yeah. I don't know. I heard people that try to quit drinking whenever they go to a bar and they get like a water, their body's like, what's happening?
Yeah. No doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
I've had a couple of bad instances with
Ultra.
alcohol.
Especially. Yeah, that shit where, because my cousin and a couple of the people that I told where I was like, yeah, if I don't drink for like 2 or 3 days, usually after day 2 or 3, it hasn't happened recently because I went 2 or 3 days recently, like without drinking, but it's happened before where I think I was just drinking heavily for like a week or 2 straight, and you go like 2 days without it, and then you're like waking up in the middle of the night with like fucking anxiety, your heart's fucking beating out of your chest, you're like, there is something fucking wrong. But I figured out a way to fix that. If you go at like 2:30 in the morning to the fridge and grab a cold beer and drink it, you calm down.
I think that's
And yes, and that was my point.
being an alcoholic.
That was my point. They were like, "You're an alcoholic," and I was like, "But I'm high functioning though."
You have a job, your bills are paid. You don't smell like piss all the time.
Yeah. But I don't. It's kind of like that. But every time I said that to somebody, and I'm like, "But I'm high functioning though." My cousin and
A functioning alcoholic, meaning when you
high
know you
functioning.
can't have it, you're okay with it.
high functioning.
But when
though.
you can have it, you're going to have it.
I get that gene that my mom has because my dad says this about my mom, and I've noticed, and I've watched my mom do it a plethora of times. If there's beer in the fridge, and she don't drink often, but when she does, it's going until it's gone. And I have that bad thing where it's like, have you ever came home and you were like,
2 beers.
and you're like, I'm gonna drink
maximum.
like,
2
I'm gonna,
beers
I'm gonna drink like
maximum.
2 or 3 beers, and then I'm gonna be, going, take a shower, chill out. Okay, I'm done.
Next thing you know, you're
Next
8
thing you know,
deep and
you-
you haven't taken a shower yet.
And you're like, dude, I'm just gonna get torn up, dude. Fuck it. Yeah, I do that shit religiously almost at this point.
I have done.
But I do it. I've noticed that I do it. So I'm usually I cut it to where it was like a day on, day off type thing. To where day on, it's fucking on, dude, and that shit's going till it's gone. And my dad would get pissed at me, and he's never said anything to me about this because he knows I'll buy a 12-pack of Michelob Ultra. And he'll get home the next day and he's like, "You drink all my beer," and I was like, "Oh yeah, shit, my bad," because he buys his own beer. So like, I don't know how many beers I would drink like whenever I was doing that shit on those nights, but it was a 12-pack of mine. That shit's gone pretty quick, and you're buzzed, but you're like, I'm not fucked up,
yeah.
And then I start drinking on his, and I'll drink like probably like 6 to 10 of his, whatever's left in the fridge until it's gone. And then wake up, go to work, 6 a.m. dude, beast, high functioning alcoholic. Probably walking in there like,
Yeah. Bones cracking, headache. Yeah.
no headache,
No headache.
because you're still hammered. Allegedly. And then he'll be like, "Dude, you drink all my beer," and I'm like, "Yeah, I drink all mine too." In my head, I'm like, "Yeah, I drink all mine." I wonder how many that was. It was probably like 20. And then just waking up at a fucking 6 a.m. going away, still hammered till about 11:30 the next day. Not hammered, but like you're wavy, should I say?
God. Yeah, I don't go that hard.
I went, and usually on my days off, like last week, I don't remember what day I was off last week. I think I was off like Saturday or something. I bought like a 12-pack of White Claws, and I still had 3 in the fridge from like the time before. And this is whenever I was taking off drinking a lot, because those last 3 of White Claws that I had left in the fridge, that was from a 12-pack I had bought like Sunday, like of last week, and I didn't start drinking till Friday. So that means I only drink like maybe 1 or 2 White Claws a day. But then I went and bought that 12-pack, and then that night I woke up the next morning and there was like 15 fucking White Claws sitting on my little fucking desk thing right there, and then one of these sitting there too, and I was like, yeah, dude, I got fucking torn up out the frame. But it was good though. And all I do too, here's what's fucked up. I sit there. I don't know if you do this. This is some fucked up shit I do, but I'll put on my Beats headphones and I'll just play like my favorite shit on Spotify, and like I'll watch like music videos and YouTube videos, and I'll just sit there and drink and just literally just be sitting there just like daydreaming about like badass shit while I'm listening to this shit.
It's
And it's like the best times of all time.
I'll
You're
sit
sitting there
down
alone.
in this chair, throw on some YouTube, and just get a little lit.
And it reminds me of dudes where it's like whenever you're out in the garage 15 Yinglings deep and you're blasting like fucking like Freebird or something, and you're just sitting there and you're in a lawn chair just 15 Yinglings deep, Freebirds just blasting, and you're just sitting there
just staring at the truck, not
in the
even
garage,
working
and
on
your
it.
wife comes out there and just goes, "What are you doing?" And you're like,
having the
"Get
time of
out
my
of
life.
here." Yeah. This is the best shit of all time.
Yeah. Hell, when my youngin was little, I kept Bud Light in business. I was drinking a ton of Bud Light daily, 9, 10 a day.
Yeah.
Just coming in here, sitting down. Like my parents had moved out, the house was ours, and I was drinking a ton of beer. And then, hell, the entire time Grayson lived here, we were just drinking beer constantly.
And like whiskey too, bro.
Oh yeah. So it just got to the point where I was 255 pounds.
I can't believe I've never seen you that big, dude.
I know that's because you and I had went since high school, from seeing one another. Like the first time I had seen you since high school was when I come to get that orange controller from you.
Yeah,
That's the first time I'd seen you since high school. We'd only talked to one another. So I got up like 255, 260 pounds.
Were you depressed and shit too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bad. And I finally said, I got to lose this weight. Got all the way down to like 175 pounds. Eating once a day. 1 cup of spinach and 1 can of chicken. Once a day.
Oh.
And working out daily. Maybe taking off 1 or 2 days. So I was going 24 hours between meals, working out every day, eating spinach and chicken. Got down like 175 pounds, and everybody started saying I looked sick.
Yeah.
Because I did. My cheeks were sunk in. My eyes were kind of messy. So then I kind of gave up. Started eating whatever the hell I wanted to. Started drinking kind of heavily again. Got all the way back up to 220 and went, So that's the road that I'm on now. I got all the way down to 189 pounds before I started lifting heavier and eating a few more calories during the day. So I guess now that I'm 208, I'm probably carrying about 10 to 15 pounds of water weight and just fat. But I've noticed.
So your regular weight's probably like 195 if you were being tip-top shape.
Like typically when I wake up and I've had 3 or 4 days of like a good clean diet, I've not been drinking, just good clean diet, I'm working out, I can wake up in the morning, take my leak, go weigh myself, I'm cruising about 194.
Yeah.
That's my typical, like, dry. I've not done any heavy carb days or any sugary days or any really heavy water days. That's a good, clean diet for a few days. I'm cruising about 194. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because my physique's not terrible. I got a little midsection work I need to put in. That's what I'm working on now with my new workouts, is my core. I got a spare tire I need to get rid of.
You get a six-pack. Right
My
there.
shoulders, my biceps, my triceps, my legs, everything's finally starting to come in. So now if I can just shave off those, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
And that's all just part of the process. It takes a while.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm out here doing a fucking 10K every day.
David Goggins, dude.
Fuck that guy. He's an asshole. That guy's an asshole. No, I like him. I've not really heard anything bad from him, but that one video where he was on the JRE with that other guy, That fat guy, bless his heart.
Dude,
He said,
that was not real.
Was it not real?
No, that was
I
edited.
thought that was so real.
And he was
It
sitting there
sounded
you
like
bitch.
he's like, "You're fat as shit." He's like, "Yeah, I like this." Like, no.
Stavros, yeah, it was not real.
Oh, I thought that was. Damn, I got fooled by
That
the
dude
system.
Pink Trip, he makes all those fucking videos.
Yeah,
He made one with like Joe and Tulsi Gabbard and Joe sitting
I
there
just thought that was an episode I didn't see.
no. Dude. And then, like, being around regular people, whenever you do work out and you're just a giant hulking person around them, is pretty hilarious.
Well, I'm not going to ever claim that I'm a big hulking person.
You could be.
I could be.
Dude, once
I
you get
could
your... But, dude, I give it 1 calendar year from now, dude, you'd be huge, dude.
We're going to see because I'm on that road. I'm
Yes.
working out regular. I'm eating right.
I'm going with it, too, dude. I'm going right
We're
here
going to
with you.
see. In a year, we're going to see.
What is today? Well, next January 1st next year, dude. Jacked.
By January, yeah. I'm hoping to be slightly jacked in a couple of months.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it is a big. That's a process.
And it don't happen overnight. It
You
takes
got to
forever.
go through the.
Mine was always, I started out super lightweight. I only started working out whenever I was like, I'd say like 18, 19, but it was super lightweight. Like it was, I literally started working out with like 25-pound dumbbells on a cooler, doing what I do now, like curls and just benching. And it was on a fucking cooler as like my bench. And then I did that for a while. I remember I quit for a while, and I was like real fucking like skinny. It looked like, dude, you're a fucking puny. Like how the 18, 19-year-old kids like look now. Have you ever seen them now?
Just
and you're
scrawny.
like, and you're like, that's a tiny person.
I've seen corn stalks with better physiques. Yeah.
And then over the past 2 years, it was like I'd work out hard for like 3 to 6 months, you know, and then I'd quit. You know those like phases where you work out hard and you're like, I'm getting jacked, and you do it for like 3 months, 4 months,
You see
and
the
then you quit,
slightest bit of results, and you get happy with it,
and then you slow
stop.
down. Yeah, I completely stopped for like probably 2 or 3 months.
Yep.
You'd get back at it again, and I'd done it again a second time where I was like, okay, I'm getting jacked again. I quit for like 3 months, and then a third time where it was like, whenever I was with my ex, I was jacked, and towards the end, I quit for like a month and a half, and then I started working out a little bit like 2 weeks before she broke up with me, and then I was good, and then now I went harder. Like after she broke up with me, dude, I went harder than I fucking ever could for like 3 fucking months straight. Because, dude, if anything, that shit's motivation. Like you think about it while you're working out too, and you're like, I'm just gonna get jacked. Because those were the days where early January and February, on my days off, I would sit there on my bench watching YouTube videos, and I would work out for like 4 fucking hours straight, just doing them until like literally I couldn't fucking lift nothing no more. Where it was just like, I would like even wait 10 minutes, 15 minutes and be like, I'm doing it again. I'm fucking going to keep going. And then I've done that for a while. And my dad even told me, he's like, dude, right now you're bigger than you've ever I've ever seen you. And I was like, okay. So it's worked. And I've noticed it. And I really started noticing whenever it was working was whenever I got these veins in my biceps. I don't know where they came from, but I was like, dude, these are fucking sick. The vein, I don't know how they, and is like the bicep vein, is that from your muscle getting so big it's pushing the shit up?
I don't know why
surface?
your veins decide to pop. It could be anything from increased, more healthy blood flow to the fact that what you just alluded to, your muscle getting big enough that the distance between your muscle and the top of your skin is becoming smaller.
Yeah.
Now your veins are getting kind of pushed up.
And then I didn't start creatine until like a month ago, or like a month and a half ago, because I started doing a bunch of research into it, and I'm like, does this shit actually work? And from what everybody says, it does. And most people that work out, they like do it naturally. Because me and you, we're doing 100% natural, no fucking outside steroids.
I have no stimulants or steroids of any kind.
And we have the blood work to prove it. A lot of people just say all they use is like caffeine, protein shakes, like protein and creatine. Like those are the three supplements.
All of those.
Yeah, and that's like the three supplements. And then aminos too.
I've got those.
I see.
That and a multivitamin. All of that plus a multivitamin.
Yeah.
Dude, you're fine.
I don't think you need anything else other than that. Like, because they always try to sell you a bunch of like other supplements and shit too.
Well, there's
and the Jack Scientist.
An iodine supplement wouldn't be a bad thing. Some nootropics, brain stuff.
That Jack Scientist I was telling you about, he was like, all you need to do is buy the cheapest creatine, the creatine monohydrate from fucking GNC. He's like, all this other shit is like, oh, it's Jacked Booster creatine, like all this other shit. It's all the same shit.
It's just creatine.
Yeah. It's like all the same fucking chemical.
That's why there's like 5 different brands of a vitamin D supplement. It's all the same shit.
And then on one bottle it says, dude, this vitamin D, it's better than all the fucking...
Yeah.
And it costs like $10.
It's just advertising. More. It's just brand. That's all it is. Yeah, you can buy any creatine out there.
Creatine monohydrate.
Granted, you find one on Amazon that's like listed under a foreign language and made in a factory that you have no idea where it was made. You might want to be a little wary with that one.
And you know those gas station dick pills? Have you ever heard of those?
Yeah, like the big rhinos and
stuff. They
stuff.
say that they have like testosterone and shit in them and shit. Like, they have like all
a
kinds
B12
of shit
dose or something.
That's what a lot of these energy drinks have in them too. B12. Yeah. What is it? Like all the vitamins and
amino acids.
Yeah.
The BCAAs, branch chain amino acids.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look, I'm just drinking it for the caffeine.
Yeah.
I don't need any of this. There's one.
But allegedly they say B12 does boost your, it's neuro.
It's a neuro
protective?
Neuroactive?
It like helps your brain work better. Yeah. That's the caveman explanation. Helps your brain work better.
It makes think faster.
Allegedly, creatine does that too.
Yeah. Well, nicotine is a mental stimulant.
Yeah.
It helps with cognitive function, memory retention.
What is it? It like your brain uses a lot of energy.
Yeah.
And like creatine is like helps boost your energy or whatever to do shit.
Well, I think it just allows more water to flow through the body more efficiently, and that entails more sugar in your blood flow for just throughout your bodily processes.
Have you ever seen those photos of it's like
your brain wants sugar?
This is what your brain looks like whenever you're dehydrated, and it's just a flat brain.
No, I've not seen that.
If your brain's dehydrated, it fucking
really
like crinkles up a little bit. It gets smaller.
Not good. You don't want that.
You need to be
fully
hydrated brain.
Take vitamins. And fructose is really good for your brain too.
Dude.
Like fruit, the sugar and stuff from fruit.
I'd pay somebody to get a high fructose corn syrup jug and just chug it and see what happens.
No thanks.
That'd be hilarious.
You'd probably have a heart attack.
Really?
Yeah. Look at what that's going to do. Dude, your blood's going to turn to motor oil.
Dude,
you just be motor oil. Just.
Speaking of a shit I had earlier yesterday, because I went to Jimmy John's and I got one of those spicy Italian East Coast subs.
Yeah.
And
was it just as spicy going down as it was coming out?
It was horrible, dude. Because it had jalapenos and habaneros and like all kinds of like hot ass fucking peppers on it. It tasted good as fuck. But whenever I went and took a shit later, it had a bunch of oil and vinegar on it too. So it was going to lube up my pipes.
It comes sliding out.
It came out
with almost the temperature of Mach fuck.
Dude, it came out liquid, fucking hot as a motherfucker, dude. I had to end up, because I was wearing shorts, a t-shirt. I had to end up taking off my fucking t-shirt. I had to take one leg out of my shorts.
Oh, you had the classic bad experience,
dude. I had to like. So, do you know, like, if your gym shorts are tied, like, you can't go full wide leg?
Oh, yeah. Dude, if you don't open up those pelvic regions, dude, it ain't coming out.
Dude, I had to take off my shirt. I had to take one leg out of my gym shorts and, like, widen it. And it was just liquid, just... And I was like, God damn.
Yep.
But I don't give a shit. I ate the other half today at work, and I haven't got shit yet.
Whew. I did that. I've done it several times. You know,
But dude, I don't even give a shit. 'Cause every time I'm like, it's gonna hurt coming out, but damn, it tastes so good going out.
it tastes delicious.
I love spicy ass food too.
My guilty pleasure is going in there and making me a pot of ramen noodles and dumping the end hot sauce in there.
And probably, dude, it's
3
so
drops. And put that shit in there, fry some eggs and put them in there and cut the eggs up in the ramen noodles. Ooh-wee. But that hot sauce, oh my God. The next morning.
good. Have you ever seen the meme where it's like this plant is like, I'm gonna develop spices so like nobody wants to eat
Nobody
me.
wants to eat me, and then
The human.
the monkeys are eating me for fun.
Because you're delicious.
Yeah, I like spicy shit. But
And we should.
it doesn't like my butt.
No, dude. Dude, it burns. It feels like it burns a ring in your asshole, dude.
Oh, yeah. And then for 15 minutes after the
It's like
experience,
they're
it's still there.
It's warm.
It's still there.
Yeah, it's warm. You're
You
like,
just gotta
dude,
go lay down and wait for that to go away.
it's warm, and then you wipe so much, there's blood on the fucking.
Oh my! I've
shit.
not went that far.
Have you ever had bad diarrhea where you shit like 5 times and then there's blood on the shit at the end because you're
No.
wiping so much?
I have never, not one time in my life that I have been wiping my own sphincter, ever encountered blood, ever.
I might have a problem then. I think it's just from wiping too much.
Yeah, I'd say you're rubbing the sucker raw.
Yeah,
Leave the starfish alone.
I should probably start using dude wipes
Yeah.
instead
Yeah,
of
I
just
would
straight up
say.
dry ass toilet paper.
Or at least get some Cottonelle or something.
I'll mark that down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we just went on a 5-minute tangent about
Taking a shit,
taking a
dude.
shit and wiping our sphincters.
That's great content, dude. Solid content.
It is getting muggy as hell. Went to the field day for the youngin' today. Do you remember field day?
Dude, that was the best times of my life.
Went to the field day down there at Wood Station today.
Dude, I was in beast mode every field day.
Man, that brought back so many memories. I got to see. Oh, you didn't go to Wood Station in 5th grade, did you?
No, I went to Battlefield.
That's right. That's right. We had a English ELA teacher, Miss Knott, and she's the librarian now. We got to talk to her, and she was like, "Do I know you?"
Is she old as shit now?
She's got some age on her, but she's like still looks the same. She's just tanner and a little more wrinkly, but you know it's her.
Yeah.
And I said, "Hey, do you know who my daughter is?" And she was like, "No, I'm not sure I know who you are." I said, "I'm Jessie. I was in your 5th grade ELA class." And she went, "Oh my God." I said, "Yeah." And I said, "I got a little girl going here now." I said, "This is my wife, Lauren. You had her too." "Oh, y'all are still together?" And then she stood there and talked to us for 10 minutes. She had remembered us. And she didn't make the connection that the last name Hayes for her was ours. She didn't know. So I got to see her today.
Hell
It just,
yeah.
man. Being back at that school for like that long time. Like I've been there, of course. We've been like PTA. Yeah, PTA meetings. A couple other things. But like I was there for a while today. Got to go in the gym, see the school again. I was like, man, I can't believe.
Does it still smell like
I went.
weird?
It
as
smells
fuck?
like a fucking school. It smells like I remember the fucking school
Yeah.
smelling. It's like,
God,
dude, I
going
went
into
to
your old
elementary school here.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck?
I went in. When was that? That's probably 2 weeks ago, like 2 Fridays ago. I went in there to check her out early. I was going to go get her out of school early because I'm off. I'm at home. I got there like 1 o'clock. I walked into the front door, and you know every school's got like this little scan thing. You push the button to call the office, and it's got a little camera that pops up. Hey, you know, show us your ID. Well, I didn't have my ID. I left my wallet at work, and I went. I just now realized that the sign says you need to bring your ID. I said my ID. I don't have it. So okay, is there anybody here that can identify you? I said yeah. Like my daughter's teacher's name, the principal's name. Like I said, all these names, like these people know who I am. So, okay, we'll come into the office. So I walk to the office, go in their office. I'm standing there, and she's like, "Hey, we're gonna call the teacher, and have her come up here and identify you, and say yes that it's you, and then we'll bring your daughter up." And I was like, I mean, I get it. You're trying to be safe, but like, so they called over the radio, you know, come to the office to identify a parent. I stood there and waited and waited and waited, and they called again. And the principal picked up the radio and said, "I'm on my way. I'll identify." So the principal walks in, and she's like, "I can already tell just by looking at you that your daughter is who you say she is. But let me bring the teacher up to double verify." And I was like, "Are you serious? Like you just?" And she's like, I know." But just 5 minutes later, I was just still standing at the counter, and I was talking to the ladies there at the front counter. And I was like, "This place has changed like a lot since I was here." And they were like, "Oh, well, like when was the last time you were here? Because we put up new decorations like 2 weeks ago." I said, No. I went to school here. Like, this is my elementary school." And they were like, "Are you serious?" "Yeah, this is where I went to school." "Oh my goodness." I was like, "Well, you know, it just is what it is." But
Did you go, "I have a gun"?
No. But it did. It took about 5 minutes. Teacher come up. Here comes Stink in there with her backpack running. She started waving at me, and everybody went, "Oh, okay, so you are her dad." And then she got into the office, and they got to see us side by side. Everybody in the office was like, "That's your daughter." Like, I know, bless her heart. You couldn't tell us apart, like our baby pictures, when I was a baby and when she was a baby.
Yeah.
You can't tell us apart. They're damn near identical. I feel so bad for her. I feel so bad. I'm sorry. You got my goofy ass genetics.
Beast. Though, beast. She's going to be tall as hell, too. Well, you and Lauren are tall.
Lauren's taller than I am. Lauren's 6'2".
You can be tall.
She's 6'2", and I'm a nice, healthy 5'11".
Yeah.
So I got shafted hard. I don't get to put a 6 in my height.
Dude, just claim 6.
I can't just claim it.
Yes, you can.
I can't just claim it.
Yes, you can, dude.
No. I'd have to measure myself again.
I claim it, dude.
Last time I measured myself, I was 16.
Dude, I claim I'm 6 foot. I don't give a fuck.
If I am, I am. If I'm not, I'm not. I just can't. Dude. I'm tall enough and I'm big enough that I'm okay with it. But my woman is bigger than me. She's fucking 6'2". On a good day when she's limbered up, dude, I got to look up to her. I'll tell you what, that drives me crazy. That's my style, though.
Big lady. Have you seen that, dude? Yes. And the dude's just sitting there with his huge fucking, his pants out here, dude. Big lady.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's just me, you know.
Dude, can we pause and get a piss?
Yeah. Ugh. All right. Back again.
The third reset, dude.
Here we are.
We were talking about...
We're deep.
We were talking about, like, demons and shit infesting people. I think they're fucking real. But, like, allegedly, you're supposed to not pay attention to them. Not supposed to acknowledge their presence. all that shit. But like they're there. But if you start acknowledging them, they'll come alive.
They feed off of the fear.
And they say that, and here was the other part that they were talking about. It was like, if you're on like the truth vibration and you're always trying to tell the truth and you're always trying to do the right thing, they literally, you can acknowledge that like they just can't fuck with you. As long as you're, like telling the truth, being honest, and just living on that like, I'm doing my best I can vibration, And they usually only go for like the most fucked up people. And it makes sense to me because have you ever seen those videos of like people that are like freaking out on drugs and shit and they're like real fucked up? You know what I'm saying? And they're like trying to attack the police, eating people and all that shit. And I'm like, I wonder if that's just a demon. Look, they're on drugs, but there's like a demon in their head that's like fucking attacking. That's like attack, kill.
What they have done is taken a poison, and that poison has created a vulnerability in their mental structure, and that vulnerability allows
outside forces
a
to
demon to come in and say, ha ha ha, I can exploit this weakness in their barrier. And then you get these atrocities.
Yeah.
That because a lot of situations like that have to deal with drugs. There's drugs involved. Somebody had hell. How many years ago was it that we had somebody right here on like the I-24 on ramp in Chattanooga chew a guy's face off because he was on bath salts?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Normal people don't do that shit.
It doesn't happen. That's a fairly evil thing.
Yeah.
You don't just get high off of something and go eat somebody's face off. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. Go take 5 grams of mushrooms. Do you want to eat somebody's face off? No. You want to go hug a fucking tree.
You're probably sitting there just like...
Yeah.
But in your brain it's going, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Just shit like
You're
that.
diving down just deep.
There's entities in there, though.
There's something there. Because we come from something that's beyond our understanding.
Yeah.
And the natural substances of this world are going to show you that direction.
We talked about this on one of the earlier casts, too, about shrooms, switching subjects of, what was that like Indians that thought that it was, God came upon the earth and the mushrooms grew and they went
No,
and ate
that's
them?
the sacred mushroom and the cross. That's
and that other dude with the mushroom hat on Rogan with the stoned ape theory,
yes,
where he was like apes, which is the reason why our brains grew. Like, what was it? Like 20 times as big in like a million years.
If you're following the evolutionist theory of our creation.
And that's if evolution is real, dude.
The stoned ape theory follows the evolutionary. We were monkeys, and then we found mushrooms, and then we went, oh shit, we know how to think, and then turned into humans.
Have you noticed, too, on this earth, we're the most alien thing on this earth. We build houses, roads, fucking, like, we do wild-ass crazy shit compared to any other fucking animal on this earth. We're basically like aliens on this planet compared to everything else.
And I believe that was intentional.
Yeah.
Personally. Have
you ever seen that movie Prometheus?
We were created to have dominion over the earth.
Have you ever seen that movie Prometheus? Where the dude drinks it and he falls into the water and disintegrates.
Prometheus. That's where the ship goes through.
No, it's the all-white aliens that are like bald. And they're all jacked.
Yes.
Yeah, he like drinks that thing. He falls into
and
the
he falls
water.
into the waterfall. Is that Prometheus? What movie was I thinking of?
And then that, and then,
holy shit.
Because I went and watched a bunch of videos on that movie about like explaining it. Because did you know in that movie, like part of the lore of that like whole story is they took one dude and they call Earth Eden. The white alien dudes with the bald heads, those jacked aliens, they call Earth Eden. And they took one dude named Jesus, and they showed him like all the shit that they had, like all their technology and like how to live life, because they like wanted to live life like peaceful, like how Jesus came back and taught. And whenever dude was talking to him, he was like, "We showed one guy, and y'all fucking killed him." The alien told that to like the old rich scientist dude that like went and visited him. He's like, "We showed this guy this shit, and y'all fucking killed him whenever we brought him back." I just thought that was cool fucking part of that story.
Yeah. Awesome element.
Yeah.
But my God, the ripples that would cause if that were to be true.
Who knows, dude?
That nobody knows.
Dude, synchronicities
That-
are real too, dude. On God, they are, dude. On God.
I believe they are. I believe they are. I've had several instances in my life where I
Hell,
was
we're
like,
deep
that's
enough
just,
in this shit.
that's not coincidence.
I can say this. We're like over an hour in. Ain't nobody going to listen to this.
Here we go.
I met that chick.
Subscriber special.
Here's a hilarious one. This should be on a fucking Patreon or something. But I met that chick, Denisha, right? I met her probably a month ago. I talked to her. Didn't get her number at that time. Nothing. Waited 2 weeks. Seen her again. I was like, oh, shit. There she is again. Okay, I finally was like, okay, hey, quit being a pussy. Get her number. Got her number. And, like, she's living in a low-income house and, like, trying to raise a kid by herself. Her fucking baby daddy's a piece of shit, all that shit. And you know me, I don't mind fucking helping people out and shit. So she was sitting there going like, hey, well, today, she only got 2 days pay on her paycheck. Her boss was like, oh, shit, we fucked your paycheck up. You can get your next check in 3 to 5 business days. Like the rest of your check. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that's fucking illegal and all that. She's like, I don't know how I'm going to make it through the week because she just had to pay like $200 a week for daycare. But I was like, and this is like, I've only known her like for real for like 2 or 3 days. And she was just telling me about that shit. And I was like, I can help you out for the rest of the week if you fucking need it. I don't give a shit. And then I was wondering in my head, I was like, I wonder. So like, I've known her for a minute, but I'm like, we only started talking like maybe literally this week. Like we went on our first date and shit. And I'm like, did God set that shit up to where he knew that that bullshit was going to happen with her? And he's just going to send, here's this. Ain't that weird?
I'm going to play the devil's advocate here
She could be trying to finesse me.
and say that it always presents the opportunity for it to be a lesson of some sort. You can't fall waist deep into something so fast.
I ain't falling into nothing, but you know me, that I wouldn't mind helping anybody
You can
because money.
if you know who they are, and it's,
But I'm saying,
and you've got the opportunity to help.
You know,
somebody,
I would help anybody, but I'm just
you
saying.
almost feel obligated.
Not even. I don't even feel obligated. It was like money at this point to me is like, okay, I'm
It's
using
fun
it.
tickets.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I'm good right now. Like, and if I was ever in a fucked up situation like that, I'd be like, I hope
The
somebody would
first
help me.
thing you're going to wish for is for somebody to come
And if
along
I-
and help you.
And I always think about it as like, especially if this shit blows up, and like one of my friends was like, oh, I'm like hurting bad, all this shit. Or like somebody was even like, hey, I need help right now. But I'd be like, dude, no problem. And you don't even have to pay me back because I don't.
It's
give a shit.
nothing to me.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying. I was like, I wonder if the reason, not even, this, and that's like kind of like a synchronicity where it's like, maybe God set it up to where it was like, this was going to happen to her. I'm going to see how because she even told me, she was like, look, it's not your responsibility, all that shit. I said, I got you. Don't even fucking worry about it. And don't even ask no more because it's literally nothing. And it ain't even the first time I've done something like that. You know what I'm saying? And just not ask for nothing back. Because I think it brings good karma too. If you do shit like that, and just not ask for
It
anything
could
in return.
wind up being not a thing at all. Y'all could not even go on the second date, not even ever talk again.
Yeah.
But the fact that you had the experience that you did, she got to witness somebody that was essentially almost a complete stranger to her help her out.
Yeah.
So that increases her faith on humanity, and it increases your karma, yes, but I'm looking for the word. Like, it validates the path that you know you want to take.
Yeah.
Because you want to be the type of person that helps people regardless of their situation, and essentially regardless of who they are.
Yeah.
If there's a genuine need for help, you're more than willing to do that.
Yeah.
Whether it turns into a romantic relationship, it could be up to any factor of things. It could be anything. But you've already been through a very significant experience with another human being.
And like noticing something like that, it's like, that's rare. Because I could have never met this chick. Never even seen her before.
You could have never delivered there. You could have never seen her.
All of a sudden, out of nowhere, the whole situation occurs. And I'm like, that's God going like, I'm going to send you a fucking...
Here, let's...
Dude.
I'm going to give you a test of character.
I'm saying to her, really, it's like God's just going to send you basically just like, here's some help.
Yeah. And that could have been for her benefit.
Yeah.
You may have just been the pawn in the entire chess game. She may have been just praying. How am I going to get that? Well, here comes
She
this.
has been praying because she fucking goes to church like every Sunday.
Here comes this nice little white boy, and he's got
Yeah.
some extra change, and he helped me out. And holy shit.
I even told her that shit. I said, God must have sent... Because she started... Because she was texting me earlier about that shit. And literally in my head, I was already like, God sent you the right one. Because nobody else would do that shit. I don't think. And I'm the type of dude, I'm like, I'll help out anybody. Because I know how... Like, whenever we worked at Fazoli's, and like whenever I lived on my own...
Fucking Fazoli's.
I know how that shit is, being broke as a motherfucker, dude. It shit is ass, dude.
Yeah, trying to make $20 last 2 weeks.
Yes.
Dude, it sucks.
That shit is stressful as fuck.
Sucks.
It's ass, dude. And I'm sitting here just going, I know how this shit feels. And I worked myself to where I'm at right now, where it's like, okay, I'm literally good. Because that's like one thing I like having, just like the base of like, okay, I'm good if some fucking crazy shit happens. Like my car fucking blows up, some shit like that. It's like, I'm going to be good for at least a minute. But some people have to live like paycheck to paycheck, shit like that. I'm like, dude, if anybody ever, like if you ever ask me for help or anything, I would no hesitation. I'd be like, I got you, dude. Because I know how that fucking stress.
You know me better than that.
I'm just saying, it's like, I know how that stress feels of like trying to fucking
make it work,
make it last for like the last fucking couple days till you get your check, and that ain't fun.
No, it's not.
That shit's ass, dude.
But here we are, thankfully. Thank the Lord.
Yeah, and then
we're in a situation we don't have to worry about that.
And I'm sitting here, it's like, dude, if I ever got rich, everybody around me would be getting money.
Everybody around me is not going to have to worry about a damn
I was
thing.
sitting here like, dude, my whole family, it's over. I'm like, you guys don't have to work no more.
Here you go.
Yeah.
The money's here. Pay your trucks off. Pay your cars off. Pay your house off.
And then we're
here.
good.
Here, because it's... I want everybody to feel the same way that I do.
And I'm sure you're the same as me. We don't need like anything hardly to just be happy every day.
You kidding?
It's literally nothing. Food, water, and then
the opportunity to sit in my chair and look at the trees. That's
like an internet connection to play video games too, I guess. And that's about it.
I mean, I guess.
And don't even need that hardly no more.
It's literally just I do tell you. Speaking of, I've been Minecrafting.
Dude,
I've been Minecrafting. Grayson and Garrett started a world, and they built an entire base on this mountain and asked me to play, and I joined in, and now I've got some really good shit. And we found the Ender Portal, and I'm committed until they decide to kill the Ender Dragon. I've been hooked on the Minecraft. I've been mining recently.
Dude, that shit always ends eventually too.
It does. Yeah. A Minecraft
that
phase
video I sent
only
you?
lasts so long.
Do you remember that video I sent you where it's like this was the end of the Minecraft phase?
Well, it was the guy. Yeah, they were in the end, exploring
After they
the
killed-
end.
Yes, that's
They'd already
literally
killed
where
the dragon.
ours
They were
usually
going
ends.
to look for the Elytra. I can only imagine. That's what they
And
were
like
doing.
badass items and shit.
And he went to shoot the guy, and he went to shoot like a skulker
The-
or something.
Yeah, that guy.
And his buddy had walked in front of the arrow and just sent him into the oblivion below the
Lost
end.
everything.
And there it goes. That'd be the last time. You wouldn't pick that game up again for another year.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, oh, that was the end. Bye. We'll see you, bros. Fuck.
Dude. That game might be the most legendary game of all time.
It's insane. It's insane.
Because you can pick it
I
up.
even got Cyberpunk. I've never played Cyberpunk.
Dude, I heard that game's terrible.
When it came out, allegedly it was terrible. Everybody had said, this game's shit. As time went on, they updated, they added things, they fixed things, they did things, blah, 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 blah. My woman played it. She spent hours playing that game. She bragged about it enough. I got it on sale. Booted it up, started playing it. Hot damn if it's not a pretty good game. I enjoy it. But when the Minecraft thing came up, I ain't touched Cyberpunk. I've been playing Minecraft.
I don't blame you.
Whenever they say, "Hey, are you getting on?" Like I've played more games, Minecraft, in the last week than I have in the last 6 months. 6 months, and it took Minecraft to get me back into holding my controller.
Yeah.
That game.
I was trying to pay payday last week.
I know. Yeah, I went to get
I
on.
even hit you up, and then I was about to hit you up because I just got back from my cousin's house. And I was already fucking fucked up.
That night that you said you want to play Payday, I was like, man, yeah, we'll play Payday. And then by the time like you got home, and I was in here editing our video,
Yeah.
I said, I'm fucked. I can't.
And then the next day you were like, all right, we're going to play.
We're gonna play it late night.
And then I was already torn up at the frame. I was like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not. That was the day I told you about the White Claws where I drank like 16.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, I'm not
I
getting on.
can't do it. Yeah, I played Minecraft that night
Yeah.
because like I waited for you, like I looked, like watched your gamer tag, and it never changed
Just
because
YouTube.
it always says online on PS4.
Oh, yeah, YouTube?
Yeah, when you're watching YouTube, it just says online on PS4. I'm like, it's not even gonna bother him. Like I know what he's doing. But I did. I played. I got on and I was like, I'm gonna wait for Hagen. And then I seen it online on PS4 for like an hour. And I was like, I'm gonna go play Minecraft.
Yeah.
because I think I know what he's doing.
Just hanging
Staring,
around
just
with music blasting at full blast in my ears on those beats.
in the absolute most deep thought you could ever
Yes.
have. Just
Is that what they call manifesting? Or is that, I swear to God,
you're
is that
tuning into the muse.
is that called manifesting the muse? Is that technically meditation?
No.
It's just
Have you ever actually meditated?
where you close your mind out to all thoughts. I've
Oh.
tried it. It literally does nothing for me.
Really?
Yeah, it does nothing for me.
Have you done it with, like music? Or like something going on in the
I'm wondering
background?
what that shit is. is that manifesting like and like you say, tuning into the muse, and like our dads?
If you're going to tune into the muse,
I'm
you
talking
need to
about
have a
like
purpose.
Yes, and you're thinking about the future.
Well,
And like literally, whenever I'm sitting there hammered with music blasting in my ears, I'm literally thinking of like me and you. Our podcast is blown up. We're going around doing like Rogan, shit like that. In my head, I'm like daydreaming all this shit. I'm like, dude, me and Jesse are going on Rogan. We're going to the fucking mothership. Our cast is huge. We're making like hundreds of thousands of dollars. We're doing all this badass shit. And that's like what I think about the whole time. And I'm like, dude, that shit is sick. And also sit there and think about it for like fucking 3, 4, 5 fucking hours to like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
yeah.
And I'm like, and I could think it, and it's so good because you're hammered and you're listening to the best fucking music because it's your playlist, and you're sitting there just thinking about like those situations, and you're like, what could you get into here? You know what I'm saying? And I just sit there and I just think about that shit. I might just be crazy, but I do that shit and I'm like, dude, this is like the best times. Like I have a really good time doing shit like that. Like my own imagination with music will take me to. It's better than fucking watching a movie or YouTube. I don't know if that's what they call manifesting. I don't know if that's the muse.
Nah, I'm fixing to break it down
That's
for you. I'm
visualizing.
fixing to break it
But
down.
I've done that shit my entire life, where you sit there and you daydream about like the best possible outcome of anything that you're currently trying to do is what you're sitting there fucking daydreaming about.
All right. So, I believe that manifestation doesn't exist.
Our brains create reality.
I know.
Is that not me?
Listen.
Hold on. Before. Is my brain not sending out that signal to the universe while I'm sitting there thinking about that shit? Like that is literally my brain sending out the signal to the universe.
Your brain does produce electromagnetic waves that are capable of traversing all types of matter and space and time. Yes.
And the shit that you think about happens. But
that in lies.
But some things take a lot longer than others.
Yes. That in lies what I'm fixing to say. Manifestation is bullshit. But visualization?
Is that what I'm doing? Visualizing?
You visualize what you want to see in your life. Okay. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have created that thing in your life. Say I visualize $1 million in my bank account. Okay, I have visualized $1 million in my bank account. Now, what the universe is going to do is send you a series of decisions that put you on a path. Whether it be God or whether it be some other system he's using, that's going to send you on a path. Because in order to achieve what you wish for, you have to learn the things that are required.
Which is what we're doing right now.
Exactly.
Dude, this is literally just...
It's all just a learning
all
process.
the shit I visualize about, we're literally the man in the arena, like right now. As to what I was like looking forward to for the future, like visualizing like how badass and sick the shit that we've been doing, and like in the like shit that like I daydream about, like while I'm hammered and shit. This is literally what we would need to do. Like what we're doing right now is what we would need to do for that shit to actually happen, and that means
you have to see what you want. You have to visualize it. That then gives you, when the time arises that, oh, hey, I need to make a decision. Do we make an extra episode this week? Do we make the TikTok? What decision do I make to put me closer to this thing that I'm visualizing? It's not just going to give it to you. It's not just going to happen.
But you know what you need to do.
But you know what you want to see.
But you also know what you need to do.
And then you are then presented with the opportunities to make the decisions to put you on that path. Because it's you can't just wish for something. That type of magic doesn't exist in our age and in our consciousness. That doesn't exist.
Visualizing is kind of a type of magic.
It is, because that puts your mind on the path. I know what I want to see. I know what I want to do. I know what things I want to occupy my time. I know what I want that's there. So life is then going to present you with a series of decisions and opportunities, and you have to be tuned in enough to recognize this is the decision I need to make because that aligns with what I want to do.
But we could go back. We started this, was it February or March?
Fuck, I don't remember.
Or January, because we started it on the new
episode. We'd have to pull up allegedly.
Because I've had this equipment for probably almost a year at this point. And it sat there in that box.
And there was a series of events that led you down a certain path.
And I'd always visualize
decisions.
Okay, here's what's crazy. Let's break this shit down. I've thought about starting a podcast with you I've even visualized it before while I was still with her.
Years. It's been years. We've been discussing this.
Yeah, like a year ago, like we got serious whenever I bought like those mics and the Rodecaster and shit. And I visualized like doing a podcast and shit, blowing up. Never thought nothing about it. But like,
because it almost seems foreign.
But like whenever I got hammered, I'm like, this is like a fucking pipe dream. But I like fucking sitting there getting hammered, thinking about it, listening to music, like, dude, this shit would be sick. Eventually, girlfriend breaks up with me. Took a couple months later. I just went, because we planned doing cast, I think in like November and December. But that shit just didn't happen.
No.
And then eventually, I think, like I was saying, we eventually just ripped the fucking Band-Aid off and just said, let's set it up.
Let's just do it.
See if we can even do, because that was also kind of a setback for me where I was like, I don't even know if we can figure this shit out. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't never fucking.
Yeah, it's technology we had never dealt with before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then now it's like nothing, but I'm sitting there going, I wonder if that was the whole thing, was me visualizing this shit was the reason why. That shit kicked me in the nuts enough to where, like, whenever she broke up with me, that shit kicked me in the nuts enough to be like, all right, fuck it. Chicks, I'll get one eventually. I'm just going to have to just do myself. Do what I fucking want to do. And then I met her, too, whenever, because I tried to do the dating apps, shit like that. None of that shit fucking works. And I believe in this part where God sends you a woman when you're ready. I met her, dated her for a year, broke my heart, taught me a ton of shit because I ain't never been done before. It gave me a bunch more wisdom after that relationship. And I swear, and then I tried to get a dating app again, probably 2 or 3 months ago. I had it for 2 days. I was like, this shit doesn't work because I've seen how, I swear to God, I think I know how it works. Once you work on yourself, like I was working out, started to cast, all this shit. I'm like, okay, working on myself. It'll come. I don't know if this is going to be anything with this new chick, but it was just sent to me. I didn't have to go out and look for it. I didn't have to go out and try to chase after women, all that shit. It just came to me. You know what I'm saying? And then I didn't see her for 2 weeks after I'd flirted with her real hard, for a good 10 minutes, right? I didn't ask for a number or nothing. I see her again. 2 weeks later, I'm like, because in my head I was like, it was really big into that synchronicity shit and with those videos I was showing you, I was like, if that shit's meant to happen, it's meant to happen. See her again 2 weeks later. I'm like, Hagen, Don't be a fucking pussy. Ask for a fucking number, dude. Got her number. Okay. And now here we are. Man in the arena again. We're going to see where that shit goes from here. And all of a sudden, she needs it. But anyway, this whole like the visualization shit makes sense to me. Because you visualize it and like what your future is going to be. And it seems to always, I wonder if it's your subconscious that's like, this is what we need to do. And like the angles you take with everything.
Your subconscious absorbs
and it always feels like
more information than your conscious.
And it always feels like if you're doing the right thing, even if you don't like know what you're doing, deep down it feels like you know what you're doing. Like
you are content.
Like deep down you're like, I know what we're doing. Like,
there's no anxiety.
Yeah, it's like I know what we're doing. We're on the right, whatever the right path is.
We're not supposed to know the right path.
It's like, it feels like the infinity logo, where it's like, a right path doesn't make sense because it could go in any fucking direction. It's like right now I could go get a gun and just shoot up a place and ruin my life if I wanted to. But like there's a right path. A right path.
Well, you're starting to dabble into morality there.
Yeah, but I'm saying like a right path, it's like you don't know what direction it goes, but you know you're wanting to do something.
There's a path here that I'm supposed to follow, but I'm trying to follow it in the dark.
And then there's like a ancient wisdom as to see all this shit that like you learn all somehow connects together, where it's like there's like the ancient wisdom of like, okay, you're on a path, you don't know what you're doing, but you know that if you do something over and over and over and over and over again, you're going to get better at it. And then next thing you know, you're an expert.
If it's good or bad.
Yeah, no matter what it is, you're going to get good at it. But I don't know, dude. And the whole visualization thing, I love shit like that. Because I've done that shit like my whole life. Like even whenever I was a kid, you'd think about like the most awesome shit possible that your life could be. And then if somehow you're like on that path. But now we're old enough to be like, to like actually be able to pull that shit off.
You know what I ultimately think that it is?
What?
Free will. We were destined with the ability from God to have free will.
Yeah.
We decide what we want, what we do, what we believe, what we pursue. Therein lies the power. Because it says in the Bible, ye are gods. And if we have free will to decide what we want and decide what we do, what we pursue, therein lies a potential dark secret. Maybe we do get to guide our lives.
That dude that we were talking about last week, he was the one that was talking about like there's people that do like the dark magic shit, like magic with a K.
Yeah, that being the cheat code.
They cheat. And then there's people that do it like legitimate.
You're supposed to experience the full lifetime.
There's highs and lows, and you got to work for it and all that shit. But at the end of the day, you're going to get to that goal eventually.
Yes.
But if you do that like evil magic shit, like the magic with the K shit, you're basically like sold your soul, and it's going to end up being horrible for you in the end.
You have allowed yourself to become completely consumed by earthly possession, greed, evil, just stuff you just don't need.
And then you hear quotes about like the like the most like badass dudes right now. Like in my opinion, like like Trump, like Drake for me is another one where it's like he's one of the ones where it's like, have you ever seen that shit? Like some of his interviews where he's like, I basically just manifested it. Slept in the fucking cold in Toronto, just worked, and just thought about it. Just kept going with your buddies, just kept going. Trump's always been that one where it's like, never talk bad about yourself. Always keep going, no matter what. All that shit. And you got, like, Joe Rogan's another one where it's like, dude, well, he just basically just sent it, and somehow that shit just happened. And you remember he was real into Buddhism too whenever he was younger.
Yeah.
Where he was like, and that I'm pretty sure Buddhism has a bunch to do with like visualization and all that shit like that. But I don't know.
I have a hard time looking up to famous figures, I guess.
Like that's how they got there, dude.
Whether they're a politician or a podcaster, even somebody like Joe Rogan.
Look back, but like if you look in the future, what if this blows up and you become one of those? Then you're going to be going, what the fuck?
Well, then that's going to be my experience. It won't be somebody else's experience. Yeah. It'll be mine. And my argument for that is...
but you'll be one of those famous people too.
I am so tuned in to my own experience and my own decisions and my own path that anything that seems to be influential or big, or if there's a figure such as Joe Rogan or Donald Trump or anybody like that, it's like, okay, I might respect this person, but there could always be an underlying influence.
Yeah.
There's an influence there.
But you could feel the truth vibration whenever somebody talks.
Yes, and I enjoy listening to long form conversation and understanding how people think. But I don't want to think that if I visualize or think about these figures that are big according to the world, that could help me determine my path.
Yeah.
Because I'm not them. They're not me. I'm going to determine my own path. I can take information from the areas that I didn't deem useful to determine my own decisions.
Yeah, they're on the truth vibration. You listen to the long form conversations and you take the shit that sounds to you in your brain that is like, this is true, what they're telling me.
Yes.
This part is true, but then you get some of those other ones where you're like, I don't know about that. That doesn't sound right to me.
There's been points from many of the podcasts and stuff that I've listened to of somebody that I might love, such as Joe Rogan. Some of the points that Joe Rogan has made,
a perfect example.
Some of them I just don't agree with.
A perfect example is like the whole Trump loves Israel shit. Where I'm like, dude,
Trump is allegedly a Jew.
Where I'm sitting here going, that's not right to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's not right to me. But then there's other shit where it's like he gets shot and he comes up and goes fight, and you're like, that is it.
Yeah. There's spirit there. But look how big of a figure he is in the world.
Oh, he's the biggest of all time.
Dude, there's some shit in that closet that I just don't...
It's almost all out now, you'd think, right?
You kidding? We don't even have the Epstein list. You think we're going to have everything that's...
And he could possibly be on
knowable on Donald Trump?
But anyway, we were saying the deeper part of it about life, like the truth vibration, like if somebody's telling the truth. You know if somebody's fucking bullshit.
You know when you're in good company.
Yeah, like you could feel it. It's in like the vibes in the room. all that shit. You know whenever somebody's being genuine, all that shit. And that's what has basically destroyed mainstream media.
They take all of that out of it.
It's like they're just bodies. Like there's no soul there. They're just putting a message that they don't even fucking believe out there just to stir the fucking pot up.
Ain't that some shit?
And you're like, dude. And then you look at it, and then you talk to other people that like actually believe that shit. Boomers are bad about it too. They love the news. Like people that are like 40, 50 years old and older, like that actually watch the news, and then they'll tell you about some shit on the news, and you're like, do you ever talk to like an older dude or like an older woman, and you're like, dude, you listen and hear them out, but you don't want to argue, and they're like talking about something on the news, and you're like, yeah, sure.
You don't want to argue because ultimately we understand.
One of these days, I'm going to sit here and just tell some dude, older dude that like watches like either Fox, CNN, something like that. I'm going to be like, dude, that shit is fucking fake. It's not real. They're just trying to get you fired up.
There's absolutely no fiber in my being that disagrees with you. But, okay, maybe there's one. When people of that age, that generation, were growing up,
that's all they had.
And the news was becoming a thing, it was actually quite reliable.
Oh, yeah, like Walter Cronkite and shit?
You had reliable news.
Well, didn't the newscasters back then have like aura, basically? Like you're like, oh, dude, that's Walter Cronkite.
You had people that were going to tell you the truth. You had people that were going to tell you what was actually going on because they're just as absolutely confused by it as you are.
Yeah,
and they're on the news going, "My God, I don't know what's happening."
There was that one where the dude was like, dude, the president has been shot. Remember JFK got shot?
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, the president has been shot. We don't know who did it, how it happened.
Exactly.
All that shit.
The people from those generations grew up with news that was actually news. Like, shit was happening.
Like, they didn't give you left or right. It was just,
it was literally just what's going on. And then it slowly just turned into a left and right battle for who gets to spew the most misinformation and develop a narrative. Like, it just became this crock of bullshit.
Yeah.
And then independent media / podcasters came out and said, we're going to start doing this shit on our own because clearly the institutions that we have paid for this many years are compromised by the government.
Hell, Joe didn't even start off like that either.
No, he started just literally like we do right now, sitting in a bedroom,
just
talking to your best buddy, talking shit.
Yeah.
Like, he's the #1 podcaster in the world. Now, granted, he did start at a better time than we did because right now podcasting is a very densely populated occupation.
I heard
everybody's trying to start a fucking podcast.
But they only do like 3 episodes and quit. They don't stay consistent.
There's a lot of people that don't get past 3 to 5 episodes.
And they're like, this ain't never going to work. Dude, I swear to God, I thought we would be at like 2 views still by now. Like 2 or 3 views per video. I'm
when
like,
we started this
how did we get like 17 now?
Dude,
that shit blows my fucking
we had
mind.
That half fucking desk in here with the Rodecaster and the cameras. And I was like,
no camera.
There is not even, the Rodecaster and microphones. Sorry.
Yeah, that was it. No camera.
That's all we fucking had. And I thought, there's no way this goes I'm sitting in my childhood bedroom recording my dumb
Yeah,
ass.
but there's aura in here.
That's it. And now, look. Here we are.
Dude, he keeps getting sicker every time we come in
having
here.
a damn good episode.
Yes.
Just chilling.
What an attack again.
It's doing it again. And it's just like, look, I don't care. Yeah, we might have 30 views. 30 views might be our highest view count. 60 views, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. The only thing that matters to me is the fact that I get to sit here with a buddy of mine and have a damn good conversation
Dude, deep
and talk
shit.
about good shit. And it's
Yeah.
just like, I don't care. Whoever wants to watch it, watch it.
I know.
And when the time comes that the universe or God decides that, here you go, have these blessings, and here's...
It might just slowly just keep growing.
And that's all it is. It's just a process.
Yeah,
It's
just like
just a
anything
process.
else. Remember, we played Black Ops 1 together, like when we first started playing video games together, wasn't it? It was Black Ops 1. We sucked.
Oh, yeah. Round
And that
6
was
was
like-
like a record for
And that
us.
was like 15.
Everything in our life from the
That was like
point-
12 years old. When we sucked
Yeah.
ass, like 12, 13 years old.
Everything in your life, regardless of what your
And
memories
nowadays,
are.
though, but my whole point of it, nowadays, the game, we break the fucking game if we play it. It's just so good at it at that point. After that much time, you just are so fucking good, it's ridiculous.
As nonsenseless and useless, most people put video games in. You know, like, most people would think that video games are just useless and senseless, and there's no... Why do you play these things? You're wasting your life.
I was just using it to make a point. Is to
That-
like, you do
well, no,
something
no.
over and over and over again,
That's what I'm saying.
you get
like,
better at it.
to everybody, life's a little different. And we just happen to look up on the video game aspect of it where, all right, we get to test and try our skills and our capabilities and
Over and
over and over and over and over and over and over and over for years. And then it slowly transitions into, okay, now you have to apply that patience and that effort and that commitment
Can you imagine
to other parts of your life.
back to whenever you first started doing HVAC?
Oh, dude, I was green
didn't
as
know
cabbage.
shit.
I didn't know
Yeah.
shit. Like, I started out in a controls company. Like,
And nowadays, you're like, it's nothing.
it bores me.
You could literally just
almost.
put music
Like,
on and just go. It's just
and I
nothing.
do. I turn my speaker on and I just sit there and do my job. Like,
Yeah.
I'm outpacing 10 guy crews that are pulling my wire and putting the ductwork on and doing all this. And I'm like, all right, well, I need 2 days and I can have the whole system ready.
And then here's
It took
another
us
good
24
example.
days to put it together.
I've ran my same route. It's the shittiest fucking route new to all for fucking 2 years now. They put somebody else on my route, like on my days off. They hardly can't get it done. And they, like yesterday, I was off. Dude ran like, he brought like 20 something stalls back.
Isn't that why the last guy quit?
They like 7 dudes have quit from running my shit.
Having
Yeah.
to run your route.
Yeah, but I've done it for like probably almost 3 years now. It's just like, it's a perfect example of just doing something every day is literally nothing. Like, it's just a cupcake. Like, I'll put my fucking headphones in and it's just any other day. It's just, I know exactly where I'm going. They're like, how do you not have to haul ass and like try to like run to every stop? It's like, dude, I go 35 basically.
You have a routine.
I basically go 35 all day and just walk to every fucking front door, no matter how many stops I got. I'm going to get done because it comes off of it. I'm like, dude, it's just the...
You're
Once
in
you-
your own world.
And
You're
then, like-
in your mindset.
like the dude yesterday, he had like 180 stops, and he was telling me this morning, he's like, man, I couldn't get it done. He said he was like trying to haul ass and like run and shit to like try to get it done. He brought back like 20 stops. I'm like, dude, I'll have like 180 stops, 300 boxes. I can go 35, slow as fuck, all day. Get done 4:30. This dude got back at like 5 something. Didn't even finish the route. I'm like, dude, I don't know how that even happens, but it just blows my mind because you get to see like the work that you put in. You're gonna get shit out at the other end of it.
My boots were delivered 2 days ago, and the UPS guy told me that he had 137 stops for the day. It was 7 o'clock in the evening,
Beast. He was milking the clock.
and he had 37 to go.
Oh my God, he just hit 100 stops at 7 o'clock. He ain't going to be done for another 2 hours if he's going at that pace.
That's what's putting it into my perspective. Is like, Jesus, how many stops you doing a day?
Like 100, like today, like 153. I told you I'd get done before 4.
What the hell?
Dude, it just comes off. It's pretty magical. And the people that ride with me, I hate to toot my own horn, dude, but like people that ride, like I've tried to train like 3 people, but they've all quit. And like, I'm not doing nothing no different. To where, also, it's probably like my body's just used to it.
Yeah.
Because it's real, basically just manual labor and shit. But we're getting off fucking topic. But, people fucking, I don't know. I made a Marine quit, or dude from the Army quit. I was telling my dad, I said, you need to hire somebody from the Navy and the Air Force. I need to get all 4. So they need to quit too whenever they ride with me. I need to take out the entire military. So I told him that. He laughed. But yeah, it just, you get used to it. But like we were saying, you just get used to it. And then you get better and better and better and better and better at it no matter what, you keep doing it. And speaking of this, our first episode, if we went back and listened to it, we'd go, dude, this is 2 idiots talking as fast as we could, like the whole time, trying to fucking, like going everywhere. Now we can literally sit here and just go on a topic, and then it'll flow into another one. And we aren't even like the best we could be because we've only done like 14 episodes. But
This
from
is
episode 1,
14, I do believe.
From episode 1 to this episode now, there's probably a huge fucking difference.
Oh yeah,
as to like how
I
the
didn't listen
whole
to,
shit goes.
I didn't listen to episode 1, 2, 3, or 4.
I don't want to listen to none
and
of
I
them.
don't want to,
dude.
And that's what makes me think we should just probably delete those.
Do not do it. There's our history.
The Old Testament.
That's history, dude. This is still probably going to be the Old Testament because we're probably still going to.
Oh yeah,
we're going better and better.
The stage.
We'll go back and listen to this. Like, do you know, in the future, whenever so like at 21, you're like, dude, I'm as smart as I'll ever be right now. Like, I got the most wisdom. And then you go back at like 25. Like right now, I look at my 21-year-old self, and I'm like, you're an idiot.
You're
but
retarded.
but being a little bit older now, I'm like, I know I'm an idiot now. And I know my 30-year-old self is going to look at me now and go, that dude is an idiot.
You figured it out. There it is.
Yeah.
It's a never-ending process.
And then your 40-year-old self is going to look at your 30-year-old self and go, that guy was an idiot.
So now that we get to grow up with that knowledge, what a relief.
Because did you have that same thing at like 22 where you were like, dude, I'm as smart as I'll ever be.
There's nothing else in this world that I need to know.
Yeah.
And then now here I am 3 years later at 25 going, Jesus Christ, I know nothing.
I don't know a damn thing, dude. I'm an idiot. And then you know that your 30-year-old self's going to look at you and just go, that guy's an idiot.
Because our lives are going to continue on the same path that we have decided for our lives to go on. And that just means
either that or this shit blows up and we just look back and go, that dude was a genius.
I am all about just gathering more wisdom.
Yeah.
Knowledge.
And one of the big things is literally just sitting here just going, I don't know shit.
I don't want to know.
And whenever somebody acts like they know fucking everything, that shit irks me. I'm like,
it does.
Like, whenever I see Neil deGrasse Tyson, dude, I'm like, dude, that shit irks me. I'm like, dude, look, I'm not no genius. But I know, I don't think anybody knows what the fuck is going on with like how any of this shit works.
All theoretical.
I don't know shit. I'm just doing the best I fucking can.
But he's an expert, Hagen. He's an expert.
Dude, an expert told me to take a motherfucking vaccine, and guess what? Jones claims 30 million people have died from that shit.
Hashtag COVID.
Allegedly. But 30 million people have died from it by now, allegedly. And we survived. Our two retarded asses.
We survived. You want to know why?
No, our two retarded asses survived the biggest disinformation and bullshit campaign about some shit like that and didn't take it. But all these smart people that live in big cities fucking fell for it. That makes you fucking think.
Personally, I believe that goes into a pretty surface level political argument. Like, of
Not
course
even
your
that.
big cities are going to be.
Here's the kicker. All these big city Democrat liberals hate Donald Trump. They took his fucking vaccine. Warp speed.
It was his vaccine.
So,
Yes.
Are you kidding me? Do you remember whenever the
But
vaccine was...
does that put him at fault, or does that put them at fault?
Here's the kicker. Literally, the big twist of it all was like, Trump was like, Operation Warp Speed, this is mine. The news media turned it on a dime right after Biden won, right? They turned it on a dime. This is, you need to take the vaccine, all this shit. Remember whenever Kamala and all them were like, I would never take Trump's vaccine. Biden was like, I would never take Trump's vaccine.
Yeah,
Pelosi,
I
I would
remember that.
never take Trump's vaccine. He won. Twist on a dime. Oh, everybody needs to you're going to have a winter of death and sickness. All that shit. Really, dude? You just said this shit 6 months ago. Now you're saying this shit. These motherfuckers are full of shit. But still people believe they're bullshit. What the fuck, dude? You'll have a fucking somebody on the news tell you straight to your fucking face. They didn't say that. Motherfucker, it's on film. You saying it? You never took Trump's vaccine. Now all of a sudden it was, oh, you need to take this COVID vax. What the fuck? They're full of shit.
Tired of them putting chemicals in the water and turning the frogs gay.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Serious crap.
Yes.
Dude. I just look at it now and I'm like, dude, this is ridiculous. Now I wonder, it all makes sense why the old dude just sits on the porch and just goes, and just sits there and drinks his beer, listens to this fucking music and smokes a cigar and just goes, oh, it's all the same, and it just repeats over and over and over again. And we're eventually going to be those old dudes that are shaking their hands at clouds, and we're already getting close right now.
I tell you what sucks. And that's waking up
Being self-aware.
every single day. And damn near every single day is exactly the same. There's shit going on in the world. It feels like the same day. Like nothing changes. And yet you seem so disconnected from it that you get to observe what's going on. You get to look at the world. You get to look at the situations at hand. You get to look at the common opinions of the nation, of the world, and you get to watch this shit every day, and every day it's the same shit, and it doesn't go away. And there's nothing you can do about it because you're just one person. And being able to rally up enough people to take on the world is, well, a little unfeasible.
It's possible.
Possible.
1776.
Possible. It's happened in the past. But for somebody like you or somebody like me to look at the world and look at what's going on and look at the way that everybody's
I couldn't
thinking,
fix everything either.
there's absolutely no way in my mind that I believe that I could fix anything in this planet at all. But
We can't see
I
and talk shit
can
about it.
I can observe and express the way that I feel that things should go. And even if I'm doing that to myself, or in this case to you, or to any unlucky soul that has to listen to this crock of shit, There's what the hell?
Good.
Still recording. There's no way that I'm going to be able to convince the world or anybody of any importance to consider the way that I feel about things.
Yeah.
So why should I burden myself with the worry of the effort, I guess? It's not worth my time. I'm going to observe this world, and I'm going to take the signs and the signals that God's given me to live the life that I know that I need to be living, and the rest of it is just noise.
Yeah.
It's just noise. It's meant to distract you, and you need to make the decision to not be distracted. That's ultimately the road that I'm falling into. Is I'm gonna make my decisions based off of the personal connection that I have to my life and my faith and the way that I feel about the world and the universe, whatever it may be, as big as it may be. You know, should I worry myself about the existential crisis of the universe? No. I shouldn't worry myself with that. But do I?
Oh, yeah, you can't do that, though.
But do I? Yeah.
Sometimes.
I worry about, the length of the universe and
Oh, I'd never do that.
the strides of humankind. Stuff like that. Like,
I've never done that.
our creation, the way that we came to
I've
be,
tried.
the history of us.
I do, dude. I love the history, but one thing I will disagree with you on is I've thought about it before, where it's like, oh, the end of the universe and all that shit. Like, where if it'll just all of a sudden just all disappear. I've thought about that, and then I've literally just went in my head and I just went, that's a useless thought. Like, if it just ends there, I've no control over it.
There's absolutely
nothing
nothing in my control that I'm going to do about it. If the
You
end
just
of
can't-
civilization
you
or
just
the end
can't-
of the universe has come to be,
You can't worry about shit like
you
that.
can't. No. And worry may be a strong word. But because I don't necessarily I don't have an anxiety attack about it every day. But I contemplate, I think about, I guess mainly our creation,
And like where we came
our
from,
history, where we came from.
and a lot about like how it works, like how
does this work? And then
yeah.
I guess my real wording about it is when it ends, what's our death? What happens? The age-old question of everybody in existence. What happens when we die?
I don't think we're meant to know that.
When we're not. You're not supposed to be able to comprehend that. That's the conclusion that I've came to.
And they've studied brains for forever, and they still don't know how this thing works.
Yeah, they don't know how consciousness works. They know that when you die, you lose weight.
Like a small,
Like
grams of weight.
A soul might weigh something.
and like whenever you look at, like going to somebody's, like whenever they're having their open casket meeting.
That's not them.
Like their funeral, it's not them, but like there's nothing there.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing there. I went to my granddad's funeral, or my papaw.
My grandma's, and like, because you could feel whenever. Can I pee first before we start this? Because this one's real deep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Hold on. I'll try to pause it at the same time. Yeah. And like how there's, you don't feel like a presence is there whenever you see like a dead body in a casket.
Yeah.
But you could feel a presence whenever somebody enters your house or enters something, or like whenever somebody's staring at you, you could feel that, is what I was going to say.
There's a connection.
There's a feeling. There's like, and like you said, like the electrical impulses, and it all like ties into like the visualization shit, and like you're sending a signal out through your brain somehow. I don't know how the fuck any of this shit works, but you could literally see it working.
The
and, like,
only
feel
thing
it.
that we have is a complete theory on the way that these things work. Your brain is an electromagnetic thing. It pulses.
But you could feel it, though. Like, if somebody enters a room or is staring at you, you feel that.
Imagine yourself as a beacon, and you're putting these waves off. You're constantly aware of your surroundings. You know what's going on around you. You know who's around you. You know who you've looked at. You know who you've spoken to. You know all these things in your environment, wherever you're at, whatever you're doing. Now there is somebody in your environment that has noticed you. Okay, so assume we're all humans. Their brain waves have now intercepted your brain waves of being aware of your surroundings. And that gives you a gut feeling to start looking around, looking at
One of the
who's
funniest
looking
ones
at
I've
me,
ever done
what's going on.
was I was sitting in the Chick-fil-A drive-thru like this. I had no clue that this old lady was literally staring at me in my car, like with her husband. And she was like staring at me. And I didn't notice it. But literally I just went and just looked directly at her in her eyes, and she went, oh shit. Yeah. I thought that shit was hilarious. But like, you could feel fucking somebody looking at you. You could feel like, and then there's like vibes to a room and like vibes to people. Like, you know that there's a feeling whenever you show up somewhere and like the vibes are off. You're like,
Something's
not
awry
right.
here.
Yeah. You're like, something's going on.
Tension in the air.
You could feel it.
Like a thickness in the air.
Yeah,
It's
you could
there.
feel it. You're like,
It's like one of
something
the
right.
oldest, like, feeling the tension in the room or the elephant in the room.
Yeah, you could
like,
cut it with a knife. You could cut
you
the
can
tension
feel
with
it.
a knife.
You know it's there.
But if you see a dead person, there's nothing.
Nothing.
There's like
Nothing.
zero signals coming from that.
Yeah. In my years, the first funeral that I went to where I was conscious and I knew what was going on around me was my papa's. He passed away from cancer. Horrible last few months.
The air was really thick at Ethan Gerald's in that church. Whenever they took us all there, the air in that church, it did not feel thick in there, dude.
It did.
Like, you could, it felt like there was a fog in there, but there was no fog.
I chalked that one up as being a sense of mystery. Nobody
here's
really
what's fucked
knows
up. I've told
why he decided to do that. It just happened, and there's a lot of mystery.
We're deep into this too. I think we can talk about this too.
We're good.
And then it was definitely because of that chick, because she moved schools immediately. But here's what's weird that I tell people. We had 2 people in our high school that killed themselves, and another dude attempted, almost a third, that all killed themselves like while we were in high school. And that's like extremely rare, because that never happens to anybody. Do you remember that dude with the huge scar on his face? Right here?
Yeah.
He tried to fucking blow his head off with a shotgun, or not a shotgun, or a pistol or something, and blew like his whole jaw off. So we almost had 3 dudes commit suicide in our high school. And that says something about how fucked up we had that shit. And then
Considering the
I
amount
tell
of
people
that commit suicide every day, though.
I tell people that, though, about like just whenever I went to high school, they're like, what the fuck? Because a lot of people that went to high school that are older and younger, never. They're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, we had 3 almost. We had 2 for sure, and then almost a third. And if not more than that I didn't even know about. And
Our
2 of them were in
generation-
our grade.
Our generation,
Not even our generation. It's our school in particular. That was what was wild about it. Because nobody, I don't think Aaron never told me nobody from Lakeview killed themselves. Ridgeland, none of that. Because we would have heard about it if somebody would have done it. Why was Heritage and then this area just like the most fucked up shit about the whole suicide thing?
Huh.
And I've told like multiple people that are like way older than me about 2 people that have killed themselves that I went to high school with, and a third that attempted. They're like, what the fuck? I'm like, yeah. 2 of them were in my grade, and one was Ricky, dude. Remember that dude that was older? I think that was accidental, but
That was an overdose. He was right in the Spring Meadows.
he shot himself, though, didn't he?
No, didn't. The fucker that was with him shot him.
Yeah. Oh, the dude that killed animals and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cannot remember his name.
Tyler. No. Might have been.
I don't remember.
I have no
Nah,
idea.
he didn't shoot him. He was murdered. But he just made it look. I don't know. I don't quite understand.
Allegedly, this is all speculation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I always wondered about that. I was like, man, that's wild. And then Lavarius was another one. I was like, man, I never thought Lavarius would be like that either.
Dude, speaking of Lavarius, motherfucker texted me yesterday. He has already taken off 2 weeks PTO for May 26th of 2026 because that's the release date of GTA 6. He's like, I took off 2 weeks of work.
He
I'm
never
gonna
played
play
GTA 5.
He didn't play shit.
Me and you and him tried to play.
You know what he's playing right now? Rainbow Six Siege. Still.
But he's streaming, though, ain't he?
Yeah, he's streaming. He's on mouse and keyboard now. He sent me a clip. He's like, yeah, I'm on mouse and keyboard. I'm streaming. And he's doing all this on the keyboard. And I'm like, yeah, I started a podcast with Hagen. And he's like, well, shit, you got to start something.
Yeah, because he's streaming, too. I was like, dude, if we could blow this shit up, we could get him on. And like you were saying,
I immediately thought about that when he texted me. I was like, we need to have an episode where we invite Lavarius over here and have him on as a guest. And the episode title can be 2 White Men Plus One.
Yeah.
And that was a gaming group that me and Ethan had, was 3 White Men Plus One. It was me, Ethan Geralds, and Patrick Redmond. And, oh my God, I cannot remember the black kid's name.
Zane?
No,
I have no idea.
He would probably smack me if I was to see him, if he was to hear this. Because I remember him. He was such a good kid. I enjoyed being around him. And I cannot for the life of me remember his name. But we went over to Ethan's house and we played Payday. We all had a TV, like a little 15-inch glass static TV. You know, you turn that fucker on, it had AV plugins in the front of it. And we sat around and played Payday 2 for hours.
Speaking of, Black Ops 1 PS3 in the basement, round 38, that was played on a motherfucking fatback TV.
Yes.
Did you come over to my house whenever we were young, and I still had that fatback TV on the PS3 with the 3 red
The very
button.
first time that I ever came
And we
to
played
your
split
house,
screen.
It was me, you, and Bryce?
I think so.
Was that his name? Donahue. He played baseball.
Was it
or
that
something.
big wooden cabinet with a fatback
Yes.
TV and then a PS3 hooked up to it?
Yes.
And there was the couch and then the other couch.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was us.
How far we've come, dude.
Oh, my word. You know, the PS6 is already slated to release in 2028.
Oh, my God. I just bought a
2028.
PS5.
We got 3 years.
God damn.
I don't know. As far as gaming goes, I am so I played Hogwarts Legacy, the Harry Potter game.
All right.
I enjoyed it. It was good. Liked it. I got Cyberpunk. Started it. I like it. Started playing Minecraft. That took over. I'm hanging on a thread because I was already off of games essentially altogether. But the new Battlefield that's coming. The new Battlefield, I'm telling you. It's going to be the game changer.
I'll get GTA 6.
I don't know if I'll get it. We'll see. We'll see. Because I think there's some shit. I think there's some political nonsense being put into that.
They usually do the opposite of that.
Typically.
Like
yeah,
South
but
Park?
Now they like feature gay pride parades and stuff. And
I think
like,
it's... Will it be...
can I drive my M1 Abrams through that parade? Is
I
that
think
what you're
so.
telling?
You should be able to. With GTA, it's usually like... it reminds me of South Park. Like, they don't give a shit. They attack anybody.
That's a good point. Yeah.
They attack everybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like that woman on Red Dead Redemption 2 that was for women's suffrage, you can hog tie her ass and throw her to an alligator.
I remember seeing that.
And then you can meet the KKK in RDR2.
Yeah.
And that's like the whole
Well,
same shit.
and maybe you have the same feeling that I do. Once I got introduced to multiplayer online first-person shooters, Call of Duty,
Yeah.
that kind of solidified
I was a squeaker too.
the only kind of game that I wanted to play. Because I'd spent my childhood playing single-player offline games, just campaign only. And then I finally got introduced to online, multiplayer, first-person shooters. And my God, was I good at them? Yes.
I sucked whenever
Did
I
I
was young,
enjoy them? Yeah. Well, when we were playing solo, yeah. But by the time you and I met, when my gaming kind of took off,
Like Black Ops 2?
we were a
We put
force to
hours
be
in.
reckoned with.
We put hours in on Black Ops 2. We would get home, and you were crazy about Black Ops 2 as I was, though.
Yes.
We would get home, and I would like text you or something, be like, dude, are you on? You're like, yes, I'm on. We'd play Black Ops 2 from the time no homework gets done.
None.
It was fucking Black
failed
Ops
my
2.
classes.
From the time I got home till your internet turned off at like midnight almost.
Yeah. Midnight. Well, it would restart at 9.
Yeah.
And then it
You'd
would
get
go
back
off
on,
at
and then
midnight.
I remember you'd be like, dude, I gotta be real quiet.
Be real fucking quiet because everybody's asleep and I'm not supposed to be on the game.
And we'd sit there and just play.
Yeah. Man, I got so into it. And I got to the point where I was like,
Those combat training things were insane.
we
Dude,
were
during the
so
summertime.
fucking good.
I'm pretty sure during the summertime, we spent, I don't know what that was. It was either 8th grade going into 9th or 7th going into 8th. We spent, I swear to God, an entire summer, all day, like, whenever we'd wake up like 9, 10 in the morning until fucking midnight,
Yeah.
2
I
o'clock in the
remember
morning.
waking up at 6 a.m., go do the dishes, clean the house. My parents going to work. I'm watching my brother. It's summer break. I have no school. I'm watching my brother.
Play.
My parents going to work. Clean the house from 6 to like 8. 9
I'd get
o'clock.
on.
Dude, we would sit on and play until like 3 in the morning.
Yes, the entire fucking day.
Entire day.
Yes. That was the greatest times of my life, dude.
We played
With a
so
Bluetooth
much.
headset on.
Yes. One ear. I had one ear.
And
That's
then
all.
doing all those old Easter eggs on Black Ops 2, too. Remember we met Eric, Maurice, an unmentionable person. an unnamed person, dude. After we found out the devastating information on him.
Bless his heart. Just kidding. Go to hell.
God, what a shame. I blocked that dude.
I did too. The day, like, he had called us, like, he called you and then called me. And I was like, it's good to hear from you again. Like, damn, you've been gone for years, yada, yada, yada. And then the next day, you came to me and said, he did this and that and this. And I went, God damn.
Yeah, I had to block him.
Haven't spoke to him since.
Yeah, I was like, man, I can't
Jesus
even talk to that
Christ.
guy.
Demon.
God, and dude, and then he tried to do it again.
I know. God.
I was like, dude, this is unreal. That dude has an
And
issue.
at the start, man, he was so chill.
Yeah.
Like, he was like cool to play with. Like, I never would have imagined that shit would have happened.
Dude, Eric still gets on. I have not seen Maurice online in a long
I
time.
haven't spoke to Maurice, seen Maurice. I deleted
have him on-
Maurice and Nick off my friends list, and I deleted Eric.
I have
off my
Maurice
playlist.
on Snapchat, and he just has tons of money and is just smoking weed, just showing it.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like,
Way to go, Maurice.
and he's like on a boat and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? How did he do
For
this?
context, this is a guy we've never met in person, ever.
He's from Chicago.
He's
though.
from Chicago, and we played Call of Duty with him.
Eric was like from what, Alexandria, right outside of fucking
He was from
Washington,
Virginia.
D.C.
He was from Virginia.
Like right outside of Washington, D.C.
He was like 30 minutes away from Washington. And
Yeah.
then Fuckface was from Indiana.
Yeah. That was a crew right there.
It was.
Getting all the fucking Easter eggs done. Why the fuck would Maurice hang out with us? That's wild.
I don't know.
I wonder if he was just like, a lot of people did just see like the shotgun ranks on Black Ops 2 Zombies and go, add that dude.
You see two guys sporting the same clan tag. Both of them are shotgun rank with glowing eyes. Hell yeah, you're going to play with them.
Even to this day, like on MW3, we would dominate lobbies so hard that we would just get friend requests at the end.
I almost
Still.
texted you the other day. I think it was last Thursday, because I'm off on Fridays. I think it was last Thursday. I was like, I'm going to text him. We're gonna get on MW3. We'll play some fucking Battle Royale. We're going to fucking do it.
Can you still play Resurgence on MW3 or no?
I had no idea. I deleted it. I don't even have it downloaded.
Dude, that might have been
I deleted Black Ops 6, and they have changed everything. It looks like
MW3. The most recent MW3 is the greatest Call of Duty they made since Black Ops 2.
it was fucking good. It was fucking good. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I played the shit out
I've
of
been
that.
so tempted to put BO6 back on my PlayStation and go try that Warzone out. Because it looks like original Warzone. Like
I
they
haven't-
revamped a lot of shit.
I haven't clicked a game or not. Dude, I turn my PS5 on every day whenever I get home and literally use it as a charger for my vape and phone. And I use my PS4 to watch YouTube. I have not used my PS5 to play a game in I don't know how long.
When that new Battlefield comes out, you got to try it.
When does GTA 6 come out?
May 24th, 26th, 20-something of 2026.
Speaking of shit's coming out, Morgan Wallen's album came out. It's fucking good. Today. It came out today.
Morgan Wallen.
Country singer.
I know I've heard some of his songs, but I'm having a hard time placing him.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Yeah, his album is good as fuck. Had the mullet, sung the song about Tennessee after we beat Alabama.
Yeah. He had a new album come out
Today.
Man.
It's really good.
I've been in a like a dubstep rut for
Yeah.
months. I've been listening to dubstep.
I've been getting cooked on slowed and reverb.
That's good shit. Everybody says that's bad shit. That's
Dude,
good shit.
I love slow and reverb.
I love a slow and reverb song.
Hammered visualizing, slowed and reverbed. That's the key to all
It's
success.
perfect. It's perfection.
That's the key.
It's
to all success.
delicious.
Hammered lights are low, like dark.
Yeah.
And then you got your little fucking screen on your phone,
And
and,
you were
it's up,
just-
the brightness is turned down. Yes,
Locked the fuck in. Yes.
this is, dude. I swear to God, sitting there just being hammered by yourself, visualize. That's, I might sound like a retard, but that's some of the best fucking times of my life, dude.
It's perfect. It's good. It's good for you. It's good for you. You need that mental freedom. You need it.
Because all day it's just work.
I'm a
work, work.
businessman. Look at my tie.
10-4.
I had a couple of seconds Joe Rogan talking about Dr. Phil. I'm a businessman.
Dude, what was Dr.
In a
Phil doing this
business
past
suit.
year
Just look at my tie.
during the election, dude? He was just out there at the border just going, we got to fix this with fentanyl and all
The
this
border's a fucking catastrophe.
shit. Dude,
And you know what the problem is? Them motherfuckers cross the border and get over here into the country and go, this country sucks. But they put a lot of effort into getting here.
and dude, have you noticed Mexicans? Here's something that I could tell you about them. And it's something that it is
Tell me about them.
very honorable.
Honorable.
Whenever they get here, the dude, like the dude that has like the family, he puts in, they'll go live in a trailer, and he'll put in fucking 14, 15-hour days, fucking 6-7 days a week. And I think that is like a sacrifice of a life for like the rest of your family, to where you're like, I'm going to set my kids up to where they can live an even fucking better life. You know what I'm saying? Like they do the shit where it's like, I'm going to just sacrifice myself right here to just make the next generations prosper.
I have absolutely no problem with somebody wanting to come to this country and make a life for themselves.
And you know they do the construction, and then
They work harder than I do.
I'm sitting out here like on Saturdays and Sundays at FedEx, and where they're building all the houses in Ottawa, those motherfuckers are out there with me, still building houses on Saturdays and Sundays. I think they fucking just go, whenever they get over here, they go, I'm going to sacrifice all my time just for the next generation.
My purpose is to provide for my family
And
and,
then for
the
the-
families they create.
And then this next generation, like his kids, he's like, this is it. I'm going to just do 6-7 days a week, work 12, 13, 14 hours a day. I ain't going to make shit. I'll probably, but they probably do make quite a bit of money, probably way over $1,000 a week if they're working that many hours, you know? And they're like, I'm just going to sacrifice all this time for this next generation to just be, I'm going to send my kids through college because they're American citizens, you know, and all that shit now. And once I fucking get through with all this shit, the next generations after me, they'll be good to go.
There's no doubt in my mind that the majority of the Latino population comes over here with that mindset to make a better life for themselves.
And there's also the drug dealers and
I have no
cartel and shit.
No conceivable problem.
And you pull up to their like a house across the street from their job site, and it's just yeah, it just playing the
I
Mexican
have
music
no
all day.
problem with somebody wanting to come over here and establish a life for themselves. I start to develop a problem when our government is taking people from the border and shipping them to cities and giving them a court date that our government knows good and damn fucking well they're not going to go to. So now you're allowing people that don't have a work ethic, that don't have morals, that don't have respect for other people. You're allowing criminals and monsters to just be bussed off to some sanctuary city somewhere. Who's to say how many of them motherfuckers that went underground? Now we don't know where they are.
True.
Like the Chinese military is supposed to have 40,000 sleeper agents in the United States already, and
I've seen all that.
we're not
Back whenever
supposed
there
to
was
know
seven.
about that. But yeah, there's Chinese cells and there's Mexican cartels and there's shit awry that we're just not supposed to know about. But you know, it's there. You give me Pablo that mows yards, I fucking love you.
Drives a nail into the damn wood.
I fucking love you.
Yeah.
You're doing what
You're just
you
as American
know-
as me.
yeah, you're doing what you think is best for your family. You're providing.
And they're also hugely Catholic.
Go for it.
And they're also hugely religious. Dude.
Jesus
They all
is
go to
huge.
church like every Sunday.
Jesus is huge.
With their huge ass alligator skin fucking boots and shit. You see them? Whenever I waited on tables in Golden Corral, the Mexicans would all come in after, and they'd be dressed up like hell after church and shit. Dude, I'm like, yeah.
It's when you bring in MS-13.
And then you look at those people and you're like, dude, that dude is a fucking beast-ass construction worker.
Yeah. He works his ass off.
All week.
But
this is probably his only day off, and he's spending it with his family at church.
Exactly.
That's sick. That's awesome,
exactly.
dude.
Those are the type of people we need. It's not the type of people that are tattooed from forehead to pinky toe. Thinking they're
this
out
might be
here
controversial.
For some righteousness, motherfucker. I'm gonna clap your fucking.
This might be controversial, but that Mexican dude that doesn't have his green card, doesn't have an ID, doesn't have a social, but he's coming here working 6 days a week doing construction, mowing yards or something like that, and he goes and takes his family to church on fucking Sundays. I consider that dude an American dude. To me,
if you're here in the country
and you're
illegally. And you're containing your entire life and living the way that I would live my life, I agree.
Ultra.
Yes, sir.
Oh, shit.
I'll throw the bottles away. Oh. I'll consider you an American
But
because you're living the life
can suck my ass, dude.
that I would want to live. But gang activities and horse shit have got to go. I'm not looking at the fridge. I'm just handing.
Well, I might just have to meet up with this chick tomorrow. I might have to stay here, Jesse, if that's good with you. It's already 8:30. And we've just been ripping and it's still going. We're beasting.
8:30.
Currently in beast mode. And I'm going to have to order DoorDash to your house, too, because I've not ate dinner.
Don't do that.
I'm going to have to because I have not ate dinner.
I got some chili cheese tater tots in there in the fridge.
That ain't enough.
There's half a fucking baked pot in there.
Dude, I could order some food. Don't worry. I'll get you some if you need any. We could just wreck this room like we did last time.
No, because I got to clean that motherfucker up in the morning.
I'm off. I'll help you. I'm off. We could just rip a 5-hour cast.
Remember we're already close, ain't we?
You remember? No. We're like 2.5. But do you remember whenever last time Jones was on Rogan with Tim Dillon and he was like, "We're going for 5 hours,
5 hours, yeah."
And Joe's just sitting there like, "What?"
I remember that.
Dude, why won't Rogan have Jones on again? What the fuck?
I don't know.
And I thought he was supposed to have David Icke on, dude. He's still too scared. What a pussy, dude. Jesse.
Hang on.
I forgot to buy that 64 gigabyte thing. Did it ever come in? The USB
flash drive. No, Garrett supposedly got one too.
Did he ever get it?
No.
What the fuck?
All right, hang on. Pause.
Hold on. I just remembered we only have that 8 gigabyte one still, and this is going to be a beast of an episode.
Yes, I don't know. He was busy putting brakes on his truck. Hell, you were right there. I told him. I said, you were busy. I didn't.
And then he just backs up the driveway.
Never said a thing. Oh, my chest hurts. That was fucking funny. We just, for context, we just overlooked Hagen's delivery map.
Risky drive on Live 360.
Dude, you got to show that to the camera. That would be fucking funny.
It was literally just.
Just pull this shit up because you just.
Hold on. It's gonna take a minute.
Oh, a minute. What's the? That's Minecraft.
Just.
It's perfect. Oh, it is. It's perfect. Get it done, and then go the fuck home.
Hell, you got anything else to talk about?
No.